Hello, hello. Hello, everybody. I see there's already 10 of you waiting for this. We'll let people trickle in for a second. What's up, TY? How you doing, bro? LA Meth Witch, Sarah, my girl Sarah Mays, Eco, Steve, Sid Meister, Vegan Deterioration. I'm so happy you're here. I almost hit you up for this specifically. And thank you for helping me out with that thumbnail because I took it straight out of your video. Straight out of your video. Christian, what's up? What's up, ZC Wanapo, Banana Man. Francesca, hello, Francesca Bosco. I know you've been waiting, girl. What's up? What's up? Lori, Salome, all the real ride or die homies. Thank you for being here. Today is an important day. Mark, yeah, get that pork belly on the table, turn up the stream, and just sit back. This is going to be a fun stream today. We're going to do a live critique of Freelee's recent video. I'm sure some of you have seen that. We're going to do a live critique of Freelee's recent video, which has a lot of footage of your boy over here talking a lot of shit. And we're also going to do a live critique of my first video that I ever made for YouTube. It's a 30-minute video where I go through my 1-year vegan results. She called me old. That's really funny. I guess gray hair, you know, it makes you look old. It is what it is. Funny, funny, funny. Freelee's dietary advice is a disaster. Nothing against vegans, but nobody should follow her. Hey, I agree. I agree. Shout out to H-Town. The vegan assassin. The vegan assassin. They're so scared. They're so scared. They fucking hate me. The name is Red Hot, guys. What can we say? They just keep giving me more publicity. Or how stupid are they? They're literally going to make my channel popular, and they're just going to have to deal with me nonstop. Is that what they really want? Stupid. They're idiots. I thought they understood this YouTube game, man. God. Novices. For real. The anti-vegan Houston event. I know that Elise is going to be in town in Texas. She just flew there right now. I don't know about this anti-vegan event. That's not where she's going, by the way. I don't know what's up with that. Oh, Freelee. Oh, Vegan Revolution. Welcome. Do you think you might have just hung around with a load of shit vegans and now have confirmation bias? No, I was the first one to actually start eating meat and do what I did out of all my group of friends. So, you know, there's that. Plantriotic, welcome to the chat. Jackson Foster. Jackson, I know that, I mean, dude, you're not afraid to stand up for what you say online, but I know you don't back what this crazy woman Freelee is saying online. Character assassination at the finest. I mean, you've said your thoughts on me. You've publicly called what I said trash. Harsh words. Those are some real man words there. And Freelee, you know, she uses even stronger character assassination techniques, going through very, very old footage of myself and raw alignment, trying to slander us, man. Crazy. Say what's up to the plant man, everybody. Say what's up to the plant man. The bandage head plant man. Jackson Foster. Come on. Let Plantriotic go, man. He thought about doing the meat for short term, but he's not going to do it after all. The audience got to him. Let's be real here. The vegan audience did not let you do it, Jackson. But as far as Freelee goes, man, good lord. Pure slander. Bullshit. It's so funny. The unethical vegans that will just lie and slander for the movement. you notice how she didn't include some of the stuff I've already brought up and I've already talked about. She brought up points in the video where I say that I felt good on the raw tofu diet. She left out the parts where I said I didn't feel so good. The digestion wasn't so good. And I love that I've made these old videos to basically categorize and document my journey. Nobody can really call any bullshit bluffs on me. This shit's going back years. These videos are old. So I'm pretty much set in stone about keeping it consistent throughout the years. So I'm pretty much safe. And I love having that that to fall back on. Jackson says, and she's extreme, you could say, and does not understand the nuances of ethics and sustainability. Dude, that's another point. And you are like destroying this ethical movement from within the vegan movement. And they're probably like hoping that you just shut up about this because you're the one with the degree on this from Colorado University, or one university in Colorado anyway. And you're also still hardcore ethical vegan, deep into that ethical movement. And if you're out there saying that it's possible to have an ethical meat-based argument over a conventional plant-based diet, and saying that the ethical meat is actually better than conventional plant-based diet, then that's pretty interesting. Hey, thanks, Eco Steve. I don't care what age I look like. Honestly, guys, the last 2 years of veganism aged the fuck out of me. I came into veganism. I should show people pictures. I don't know how I'm going to get that up on my screen, but I'm going to try. And I'll show you guys, man. I had like a baby face going into veganism. So funny, dude. I drank tons of alcohol. I ate a bodybuilding diet, 3 or 4 or 5 meals a day consistently for over 10 years. And I had like baby face. And then I go vegan, and then I get extra gray hair. My skin gets all lumpy. My forehead gets all gross and lumpy. Honestly, I didn't even like taking selfies of myself anymore. And I didn't even like looking in the mirror. I was like, dude, I've literally hit the wall. And then Freelee says that I'm aging rapidly the past 7 months since I've gone back to meat. God, this woman is so fucking clueless. You're so stupid, Freelee. And I can't wait to talk about your video. And we're going to go through the entire video, guys. I hope for those of you who haven't seen Freelee's video yet, she basically trash talks me and she trash talks raw alignment. She digs up old footage. She tries to ruin us by things we've said 5 years ago. It's insane, man. It's completely insane. Like, how dare you have a different thought? How dare you learn something new over the last 5 years? See, Freelee's proving how dumb she is and how uneducated she is, how ignorant she is. She apparently hasn't learned a damn thing in the last 10, 12, 15 years of veganism, right? She hasn't changed a thing? Really? What have you done 15 years ago where you do the exact same thing today the exact same way? Some people think that's a good thing. I think you're dumb. Nature doesn't care about ethics. Correct. I'm still an alcoholic. Hey, whatever, man. Whatever floats your boat. You're going to have some vices in this world, man. Seriously. I'm going to do my best not to, use an extreme amount of cursing in this stream. I want to keep it somewhat family friendly. I just want to expose where Freelee's wrong and where she's right. I'm going to actually give credit where it's due. You'll never see a vegan do this, except for maybe Jackson Foster, who actually gives credit to the grass-fed beef movement and calls it out as superior to the conventional plant-based movement. I got to give him credit for that. I wish that Jackson would run an experiment, I think he would have an interesting addition to the pile of data points if he did that. And it's all good, man. If he doesn't want to do that, it's all good. I told him earlier today that if Jackson, I'm kind of glad that he's staying vegan because I feel like his guilt would get to him basically. And it's not a knock on him at all. I feel personally that if he were to embark on the meat experiment or whatever, he would actually almost ruin his own results by feeling guilty about it. And that's all good, man. That's all good. Christian, you saw some old videos where I'm skinny as fuck. Dude, I'm like the same weight as actually I'm lighter than the last day that I went vegan. I look a lot better now, I must say. And it is what it is. Everybody says Freelee's on Botox. I don't know if she is. She's definitely got the fake boobs. That's 100%. I'm also going to call out some other things about Freelee. She criticizes Ravana for, we got vegan gains in the chat. I'm about to live stream. Not sure if you'd want to do a double stream and debate right now on Skype. No, I'm not going to debate you If you'd like to converse with me, Vegan Gains, then we can do that. I'm about to actually live critique Freelee's video of me. I have important things to do. And if you'd like to stick around for that, I recommend you doing that. So let's see here. Why don't we have a debate about ethics? I am not concerned with the ethical argument whatsoever. Let's talk about vegan ethics or lack of ethics. A term I have coined called unethical veganism. Let's talk about that if you'd like. So I heard you didn't want to debate me. I've said multiple times I do not want to debate you. I will not debate you. I'm not interested. Let's see. Who do we got here? But nonetheless, thank you for gracing the channel with your social proof there, Richard. You're up for it. Okay. Well, I had a plan, so I'm going to stick to that for now. But if we're still rolling in about an hour and a half, maybe. I'm sure you would like to talk about it. Okay. Very good. Very good. Very good. Okay. Let's see. Good for you, EcoSteve, 510, 165. Guys, today is an epic day, and I can't wait to show you the part what I'm so pumped about in this video, by the way. I do think Richard should debate Bart K. I don't know why he's not debating Bart K. Like, that's the debate everybody wants to see. Nobody cares about me and you, Richard. Let's be real here. Yeah, that is TY. You pointed out Vegan Gains will throw some isolated studies at you and scream at you. I don't think he would do that with me. I don't think he would scream at me because I just, it wouldn't work out that way. But he would throw those isolated studies at me. And again, I'm just not interested in talking about that. 100%. 0% give a fuck about your isolated studies. But Richard, I'm sure we can go 1v1 in the game world, and I'd still take you out there as well. You're dealing with a real gamer here, buddy. Vegan Gains and Bobby. That's good shit, man. He should debate Bart K, though, 100%. That's, Vegan Gains has got the studies. Bart K knows about studies. Boom. Get them together. That's how it should be. All right. Let's not waste too much time here, guys. Let's get the shit going, huh? But Elise bought factory farm butter and you buy grocery store meat. Well, yes, I buy grocery store meat for sure. Elise bought Kerrygold butter. I'm sure she didn't even know that it was factory farmed. It's grass-fed butter. I mean, anybody could have made that mistake. I guess she should have researched it better. But, again, it's like one of these little technical things people want to hassle her for. And like that milk she bought, she actually went to a local dairy like 20 minutes away from her house or something, met up with this person, bought some dairy, all that. So, okay, not debating Bart because he's doxed every single person who has upset him. I'm still on probe. Okay. Got it. All right. Well, look, dude, maybe on another platform, maybe you guys do it pre-edited. I don't know. You said that you've been swatted before. I sure as fuck don't want to be swatted. And I don't think that Bart... Actually, I can't speak for Bart. I've never even talked to Bart. So this is full disclosure here. I've never spoken to Bart directly. I don't know about his doxing situation. I find that hard to believe, but fuck, man, I don't know. I'm not out here doxing people. I'm out here interested in this public arena. The public arena where we have this beautiful thing called YouTube where people can get in front of a camera... not talking about Vegan Revolution or Vegan Foot Soldier, these Nancys that don't want to actually get in front of the camera. At least Vegan Gains gets in front of the camera. So you don't go above and beyond trying to source the most unethical meat. I don't know what that statement meant, but I buy conventional meat and I'm not trying to hide from that. It is what it is. I can't afford better meat. I literally can't afford better meat. So it is what it is. Oh, Primal Edge, don't blow the thing. All right, listen. Time to get this going, okay? Time to get this going. I'm not here to milk the stream, all right? Let's get it going, guys. So, first of all, why do we think Freelee even recognize me, guys, we all know it's because I called her out in my video, my beef with vegan YouTube. And I'm going to play that part for you all. If you didn't see it, I'm sure you did see it. So let's play the clip. We all know why Freelee's pissed. And by the way, in the video she made today, she did not respond to one of the things I said. She did not acknowledge one of the things that I said in this video. Just so you guys all know and so that we're clear. But let's play that first. Okay, here we go. Next person. All right, we're just going to move right to the end here. Freelee and Durian Ryder. We're saving the best for last. I can't believe you two dummies are still making videos on YouTube. I don't care how big your channels are. I don't care what your reach is. You guys have done more to destroy people's health than any other vegan on YouTube. Your shitty diet of promoting the Raw Till 4 diet has been absolutely disastrous. I did follow that for the majority of a 2-year time span, and I ruined my teeth. I gained fat in my belly. I probably became insulin resistant during that time. I gained absolutely no muscle mass. And basically, in general, I was riding the blood sugar roller coaster. It didn't feel good. And you guys have the audacity to be here on YouTube still promoting your diet, even though tons of people have gained weight and had all kinds of health issues on your diet. And Freelee, you are living in the jungle in beautiful sunshine, and you basically have no color to your skin. It is clear. It is fucking clear as day that you are malnourished, and you have the audacity to call out other ex-vegan YouTubers that are now gaining back their health, calling them out, basically saying that they're unethical and that you should be able to heal yourself within the vegan diet. Shame on you. A lot of us have tried your diet specifically and many other variations of the vegan diet and have had very poor results. You are the result of your shitty diet. Look at you. You look like the ghost of Christmas past. Your skin is pale. Your face is gaunt. You have absolutely no natural muscle tone. You have no mass in your shoulders. You are not looking healthy. I hope this video reaches you. Fuck the ethics for a second. You look absolutely terrible. And Durian Ryder, dude, you are full of shit. I'm glad you have your hot... All right. So that was Freelee's part, guys. Raw till 4 feet under. I love that. Okay, so we know why she's pissed, right? Of course, she doesn't even make a response to this, but nevertheless, let's start going into the critique of her video. Here we go, guys. Let's do this. Freelee, don't you dare flag this because you use a ton of my fucking content in your video, and if you do, two can play at that game, trust me, you're going to have some strikes coming your way as well.
I have been consuming more of a ketogenic / carnivore diet.
We're not made to eat dead animals.
She talks about now eating instinctively and intuitively, but somehow I can't see 4'10" Elise instinctively taking down a 6'6" bison for breakfast. Can you?
No, I never crave fast food.
The old argument about, you know, whether or not humans can take down a bison by hand, like, you don't need to take one down by hand, guys. We've been using fire for over 1 million years. Think about that. Humans knew how to harness fire for 1 million years. Imagine how long ago we learned how to use spears and rocks to kill things. Let's move on. God damn, you people are dumb.
Or non-vegan food, because there's so many vegan options.
I'm definitely not a person who lies.
I can smell the hot sauce.
Oh, that's my favorite part. I can't wait to talk more about that.
3, 4. Tips for transitioning from vegetarian to vegan. Watch Earthlings.
The ethical message. You've posted things on Instagram, you know, talking about, you know, meat is murder. You've had even vegan pages.
I don't know if I went that far. I don't know if I went that far.
Yeah, you did go that far, Elise.
So Elise did post things in the past, generally a really long time ago, at least 2 years ago, regarding, you know, meat is murder, this and that, when she was really heavily into the, you know, the ethical vegan things that go on in your mind. I was there too, not posting that stuff onto social media, but definitely like trying to sort of use that angle to manipulate some of my friends into trying the vegan diet. Also, I even made a comment in my first video on YouTube that I made the connection with the animals. Like, it's all based around the assumption that you're getting optimal health from the plant-based diet, though. If that isn't there, then, you know, I would have never been vegan in the first place. So that's the thing. Jackson says meat is definitely murder. Okay, well, I'll let you and Tristan battle that out. We got things to do right now.
So
I can't go
have
chat
an
mode.
update on this misalignment shit show. So Elise has been busy deleting old vegan videos.
By the way, Elise deleted I'm not here to defend Elise's thing, by the way, but as we're getting to my part, she's commenting on that. Elise has deleted a lot of videos, and this is something that her audience was criticizing her for. They're like, you should be deleting old videos, and she wants to get rid of old videos that are promoting stuff that she doesn't necessarily believe in anymore. So she wants to make sure that that stuff isn't getting out there. So she's doing what her audience wanted her to do.
Videos. But
you can't get it right with the vegans, you know?
Journey. So I'm lucky to actually catch the ones I did that I have featured throughout this video. So Elise frantically goes into brand.
The vegans just want to play word salad with people. You're like, it's part of my journey. I don't want to delete something from the past, you know? And then and then you actually go delete it because you're like, okay, this doesn't actually align with what I believe anymore. And then they get mad at you for deleting it. Like, what the fuck?
And damage control, and makes a confessional video, which is awkwardly moderated by her new animal-hating boyfriend. Her obvious inspiration to start hurting animals again. Drew is a confused, unethical guy who clearly has body dysmorphia. He puts his ab definition and bicep size.
Okay, so she says that I'm her inspiration for going back to animal products. That's not true. I was living in Hawaii still while Elise wasn't even around. I hadn't even seen her in months. I just came across the information of carnivore, and I had let's see what old boy Richie Rich is saying over here. Not sure if you have Twitter, but you can also message me on my business email when you're ready to have a chat. My business. Well, you're being very cordial today, aren't you, Rich? Is this how it's? Are we going to be friends? Is that what's going to go on here? Okay. Anyways, Elise, where was I going with this? Elise wasn't even living in Hawaii, by the way, when I started experimenting with the meat. I contacted her because we've always had very similar digestive issues, the same digestive triggers. And I knew that this information could potentially help her, as well as some of the vegans around me. Evan Rock being one of them. Evan broke his elbow a few years ago snowboarding, and his elbow's never quite healed. And he's like literally been going through diet protocol after diet protocol inside the vegan movement, trying to heal his elbows. And it just like literally never got any better. So all that being said, I reached out to a few people I thought that this information could really help. And then, of course, I wanted to test it further on myself. And Elise was interested, but not necessarily like jumped on board. You know what I mean? And again, I didn't even see her for months after this. So again, Freelee, like she wasn't there. She has no idea. There's a lot of assumptions being made by all these vegans, and they're just so fucking wrong. It's so funny. And, you know, they can say that they don't believe us. But guys, like, I think people realize when people are bullshitting and when they're not. And hey, they can take it for what they want. And again, she calls that video that me and her shot in that park, she says that that's a confessional video. That's not a confessional video or a damage control video. What that video was to clear the air, because there's so many people talking so much shit with so many assumptions being made. She's the only ex-vegan YouTuber that came out and made a video following up on people's main complaints about her. And she even admitted above and beyond, when she didn't even have to, about lying to raw vegan ginger. Who gives a fuck about raw vegan ginger? Jesus Christ.
Before the lives of animals. By his own admission, he was actually thriving on a raw till 4 lifestyle for years.
So not 4 years, by the way. This video was made exactly 1 year into veganism, okay? So not 4 years, okay? Very key here.
Chronically fatigued, addicted to caffeine.
That's true.
Several coffees a day to just keep my brain going. Got into it initially for health, not for the animals, which I later got more into making the connection with the animals. I think this is a very important aspect of the diet, just like Durian Rider and Freelee say. I felt amazing mentally and spiritually.
Okay, we'll stop it there. So she brings up the part about me being addicted to caffeine. So that's true. Before I went vegan, I was on hella caffeine. I was drinking Monsters in the afternoon. But this video is 4 years old. At the end of my vegan journey, I was doing the exact same thing. I was literally buying crates of white Monster cans from Costco as a vegan. And I was drinking coffee in the morning, French pressing it in my kitchen every single morning. And I was also doing white Monsters in the afternoon. All right. So Freelee, it has like The first couple of years I was good. It's true. First couple of years on Raw Till 4, I was eating oranges for breakfast. I even have a video on my channel about getting off caffeine with just oranges the natural way. And by the way, those oranges destroyed my teeth. And number 2, I eventually went back to caffeine anyway. So let's keep rolling.
Actually, it was very sharp and clear-headed. This is without caffeine or anything like that. The x-rays were flawless on my...
I was actually very sharp and clear-headed for the first couple of years as a vegan. I really was. I attribute that basically to the sugar high, and also as well as getting off of a lot of shitty junk food that I was eating before going vegan. Again, I was eating a bodybuilding style diet, which means 5 meals a day on average. Doing 5 meals a day, you're constantly spiking your blood sugar. You're getting tired. You're making yourself tired by eating a bunch of fat and carbs. You're just hitting this blood sugar roller coaster all day long, just like you would if you were doing a vegan diet.
My teeth, no cavities, no issues whatsoever. I used to have...
Okay, very important point again. She hits a lot of good clips here. So I do want to go over my video after we go through Freelee's critique. We're going to go back and revisit this video that's on my channel that I posted. But the first year, I had no tooth issues on veganism yet, okay? So the first year, I had no issues at all. And I even say, I'm like, my teeth feel clean, all this and that. But then I went to the dentist again, a year and a half in, 4 cavities. 4 cavities. So there you go. I mean, just these vegans, they're so dumb. They think that nothing can change between 1 year and 5 years. Like, dude, I went from 0 cavities to 4 cavities in a time span of 6 months. So again, incorrect, wrong information. You know, this is a snapshot in time. This is a snapshot in time of my first year as a vegan. Like, again, the vegan honeymoon, man. People have no idea.
Chronic acne, and my skin is basically, it's like butter smooth now.
That's true. My skin got butter smooth. Again, I attribute that to taking out a bunch of junk food. And by the way, going back to a carnivore ketogenic diet, my skin is still butter smooth, guys. It didn't come back. I didn't get a bunch more acne or anything like that. Everything is still just the same way it was. It did take time to heal, about 6 months on the vegan diet. And my skin was butter smooth, and it's remained that way. So there you go. It has nothing to fucking do with the vegan diet.
It's really different to the bodybuilding lifestyle where you're trying to show off.
I like how she blurs
and
me.
Really nobody cares. And then in this lifestyle, you're getting healthier, and people want that. It's awesome. It just proves to me that this is what our body is designed to eat.
He then, stupidly, chose to starve himself for fat loss via a 30-day juice cleanse, which eventually led him straight back into eating animals.
So really Okay, again, an incorrect statement. She said it led him straight back into eating animals. This is not true. I did my juice fast 2.5 years into my veganism. And then I still was vegan 2 years after my juice fast. So let that sink in. Like, I did this in the middle of my entire 4.5 year vegan career. And it had nothing to do with the way I felt as a vegan. If anything, it helped me. I actually had the best digestion that I ever had as a vegan the 6 months after my juice fast. Okay. So I did the juice fast, then I did raw for 30 days. Raw vegan was terrible for me. And then 6 months after that, I was eating a mainly Raw Till 4 diet, I guess you could say. I wasn't doing banana smoothies at that time, and I was juicing my breakfast, and I actually had really good digestion. Depending on what I ate for dinner, I was still triggered a little bit by potatoes, but for the most part, my digestion was actually really good. What I wanted to improve was this sort of... But again, on the left, and she's got me blurred out here, but my belly is super fat, basically. Like down here, I was eating Raw Till 4, just like Freelee and Enduring Rider said, but I was gaining fat. Why is that, guys? Why was I able to gain so much belly fat on your guys' amazing high carb, low fat diet? I thought you couldn't get fat on carbs. Wrong again. Morons. Stomach area. I wanted to get this stomach flatter. Basically, there's not much there. I mean, there's a bit of indentation here, which I did not have before.
Afterwards, he predictably gained the weight back and subsequently hopped on the next six-pack diet trend. I
didn't gain the weight back. She's fucking wrong once again. I actually couldn't gain weight. So fucking wrong, dude. I literally could not gain weight after the juice fast. I had to start eating protein powders as a vegan. I had to eat to stuff myself at every single meal. I had to resort to eating 3 meals a day. And I had to also start eating peanut butter and stuff like that in order to finally start gaining weight, along with a bunch of pasta and all kinds of stuff to actually move the scale. I was literally stuck at 135 to 136 pounds for like 3 or 4 months until I started doing protein powders. And then I got up to 139 pounds. Big deal. Jeez, Freelee, oh my God, you're so wrong. You have no idea how metabolism or the body works in any single way. Otherwise, we'd see you in still good shape, but we can clearly see that you are just evaporating.
The past 7 months, he has
Look at my face here. That's like 8 months of eating meat again, just looking good. Like the skin is still clear. The bones are like filling out. The cheeks are filling out. Things look normal. I look normal.
has aged rapidly and appears to be going grey from his new diet of carcass. And
again, if anything, I got more gray the final 2 years of my vegan diet. And again, the first 2 years, I didn't see any aging whatsoever. But the final 2 years, really, like, I got way more gray hair. My face was super, like, lumpy. My forehead was dry. I started looking ugly. Lost in thought. I'm almost 34. I'm 33 years old. And by the way, I'm Cuban, guys. So my whole family has gray hair hereditary. My cousin was full silver hair by the time he was 40. All right. So like I actually have way less gray hair than the rest of my Cuban family. So, again, Freelee's wrong again.
and
Surprise, surprise.
Yes, Drew, we see that redwood neck.
Guys, Freelee says I'm on steroids. That's how good my gains are in the past 8 months. Is I'm being called out for steroids. Kidding me? Enjoy that, Freelee. I'm being called out for steroids, guys. Do you believe that? This is a monumentous occasion. Do you know how long I've been waiting to be called out for steroids? Are you fucking kidding me? Like, man, this is like, I knew I could do it, guys. Oh, I'd be huge on roids. Are you kidding me? Guys, I'm working out in my garage only. I literally am working out with less than $100 worth of gym equipment. 2 meals a day. No protein powder. No steroids. Are you kidding me? Fucking steroids. Jesus Christ. And this is the funniest reason. Watch. So this guy says carbs don't make you fat, excess calories do. You're right, but carbs, when you really break down what they do in terms of the insulin production in your body, it definitely helps you hold on to fat more. All right? It is what it is. It is what it is, guys.
Somewhere along the line, he obviously thought it and devolved into a clueless mainstream meathead.
All right, so basically I wake up, I grab my coffee. All right, so this is the situation we got going on. We got some Montreal steak seasoning. Very simple. At some point, I just said, fuck it, guys. This is the prep the vegans wish that they had. Nope. Sprinkler on.
Well, isn't this ironic, Drew? The ingredients in this seasoning are all plants. If you are a carnivore, then why are you trying to disguise
I used to use this argument all the time, by the way.
Make your meat meal
Why do you make your
plants?
Why do you make your meat taste
Honestly,
like plants? That should be a clue to you.
The fuck up.
So stupid. Conventional steak, Crimey River. And I want the lean physique, man. Yes, the steroids.
Look, I've become a bit of a roid expert, if you will, after dating a number of these guys in the past. Let's just say...
Yo, yeah, of course we made it. We got Jackson in the stream, Ted Carr, my boy Primal Hedge Health, of course, helping me moderate. We got Freelee calling me out today, and we got Vegan Gains coming in here offering me a friendly debate. Like, guys, we fucking beat YouTube here. We beat YouTube. We have a 3,000 subscriber channel. And Happy Healthy Vegan. Jesus. What's wrong with these people?
I can smell the hot sauce. Elise.
The hot sauce, baby.
Just a warning from a girl who has been there, done that. Roids plus a low-carb diet equals a relationship from hell.
Watch this, watch this.
Good luck with that one. You need to read my boy repellent chapter in my new ebook. As I've said before, girls, never get involved with men who eat animals. No exceptions.
So
Keep
funny.
your standards high.
The hot sauce, boys.
This guy obviously saw the dollar signs with Elise and is
Oh,
now
yeah,
using
the dollar
her
signs.
and her platform to achieve wealth and fame for being a gutless animal abuser. So in the video, Elise confesses to lying to Raw Vegan Ginger about being vegan.
Wait, I thought she pointed maybe she already she points out my red neck here as part of the steroid steroid accusations. Guys, me and Elise went to the beach that day in Laguna Beach. I even posted about it on my Instagram, and I got sunburnt as hell. And I have this redness on my neck and on my arm. You can even see it. Here, I'll move my thing. Look at that. On the bottom here, you can even see my arm, and it goes like red here and white here because I was laying with the sun on my left side. The whole left side is burnt. Are you fucking kidding me? So stupid. Freelee, you are so dumb. It's unbelievable. This is really fun. Like, really fun.
When she wasn't.
Yes, I am still vegan. Yes, I am still vegan. So I did
Raw vegan ginger, nobody gives a shit.
lie to her.
So you lied to raw vegan ginger.
I did.
But she conveniently doesn't mention lying to her audience in the first 2 minutes of her I'm Not Vegan video, where she claims to have never, ever said she was a vegan.
Hey,
when
thank you,
she
Primal Edge
wasn't.
Health, for teaching me how to be the
Because I
fake natty
literally
baby.
have not said ever that I am vegan at a point that I was not vegan.
So what about that blog post you wrote back in October?
What about that blog post you wrote back in 2014 when you were 21 years old, Elise, raw vegan, raw alignment? Huh? Remember when you told that one person in the street, I would never eat animals again? Yeah, we have you recorded. We're forwarding that to the lawyers. Bitch, nobody gives a fuck. Yeah, exactly. Who's raw vegan ginger? I never heard of raw vegan ginger ever until this whole thing went down. Who cares about raw vegan ginger? Some random chick on the internet hits up Elise, who has a huge following and is asking these like deep personal questions. It's like, imagine you're a YouTuber, right? And you're actually having trouble conceiving, all right? Like you're having trouble conceiving, or you have a couple miscarriages, right? Are you gonna like put this information out every single day, every step of the way? Oh, guys, I've had 3 miscarriages in the last 6 months. I'm finally pregnant. No, you're not gonna do that. There's certain information that's not worth sharing. You might share it after the fact, once things are sort of figured out. But there's certain things that you might want to keep secret. It doesn't mean that you're a fucking liar. It doesn't mean that you're a bad person. It's just these whack job vegans want to come through here and slander you because they're hoping that they can make you look bad enough to where new people will not find your channel.
About being vegan.
Give me 1 second. Okay, back in action. Let's get to it, guys. Oh, Sid Meister. Hey, the natty card is gone. The natty card is gone, dude. Thank you for the tips. Those are very much welcome, by the way. All right, let's get back to it, guys. Let's get back to it.
But then you deleted it. She then goes on to say in that video that she has not been vegan for 2.5 to 3 months.
So it's been
And
around
back to this
2.5
timeline. We're not going to go too far into this because this is pretty much all Elise's part, and I'm not in the rest of the video for the most part. So, we'll see if anything
3
pops
months
up.
now that I have been not vegan anymore.
She then awkwardly reaffirms this lie in her recent owning up video.
This video was made late March, so that would have put you sometime late December
Right.
for starting to consume your first animal products.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk a little bit more about that.
Yeah, okay, cool. So yeah, as I shared in my video, it's been like 3 months. I shared at the very end of December.
This is where I'll stop after this. She suddenly realizes that's a lie. Too many lies get confusing. Actually, no, Freelee. We discussed this before the video, exactly what I was going to say, and this is not a secret. We had already talked about this. We knew that it was best for her to say this information. She came out with at the goodness of her own heart just to clear any possible doubts up, and gave additional information, gave additional lies that she didn't even have to give in order to just be completely transparent with the audience, and then the vegans take that and they call her an even bigger liar now. Like, seriously, where is the logic in that? That is really mind-blowing to me. Okay, anyways, the rest of the video is basically about Elise. I'm in a couple clips here and there, you know, all the all the interview clips or whatever. But long story short, guys, like, you know, they're pulling up clips from Elise 2015. Like, give me a break, dude. That's 4 years ago. Elise was 21 years old. Seriously, 21 years old. Come on, let's get real here. Freelee, you are how old is Freelee now? Late 30s, early 40s. Criticizing somebody for what they said 4 years ago as a 21-year-old is very low. Very low. Unreal. You're not even done with college yet. You know what I mean? Give me a break. 40. She's 40. She's criticizing a 21-year-old. Like, you have to make a lifelong commitment to being vegan based on some ethics that, by the way, the ethical argument has been completely debunked. The health argument has been pretty much completely debunked. So there you go. All right, let's move on. Oh, shout out to CMC. But we're not going to watch that video. That's not what I was getting at there. Oh, this is a little bonus footage, guys. This is a little bonus footage. Something good that I dug up. So Freelee apparently contacted Isaac Butterfield. Soap on Slope. You want some gyno nips? I'll show you the gyno nips in 1 second. Hold on 1 second. Isaac Butterfield. This guy's got a huge channel. This guy's hilarious. God, dude, I do not want to be caught watching the vegan cheat. Okay, that's some guilty pleasure type shit. All right, that's when you bust out the full butter popcorn, and you bust out the Hershey's chocolate kisses, and then you sit there and you put your little socks on at night and you watch them on the TV. Okay. I do not do that. All right. I do not watch CMC. Okay. So this video, this is gold right here. All right. So Freelee, we're going to kill two birds with one stone here. Freelee criticizes me for doing a juice fast, which, by the way, she used to do water fasts back in the day, yet she's still vegan. So, and she didn't gain the weight back. She actually lost more weight. So what is, like, they try and make all these relations, like these, they try and connect the dots here, which are just completely bullshit. So here she is right after a water fast, and she actually talks about how she got the name Freelee. Interesting. Let's see what she says.
I named myself Freelee after a water fast back in 2007, and it's a combination of my old name, which is Lee or Leanne.
Your name is in the
She gave herself the name Freelee after a water fast. The water fast had profound effects on Freelee, so much to name herself Freelee, which she's world famous for. And then she's talking shit because I did a juice fast because I couldn't digest plants. Dude, unreal, right? That's good. All right, so let's see here. We're going to knock that one out. Let's see. So this is my video, guys. This is my first video. I got to give Freelee credit here. She dug up clips from this video before I could get to the live commentary on it. I actually had this in the plan. Of course, the vegans are not going to believe this. Drew's making this up. He's making it up. Oh, yeah. I make shit up, guys. Give me a fucking break. I was going to actually do a live commentary of this video. I just didn't think it was that hot of a priority. And then Freelee came along and dug clips out of it. So now it's forced my hand to do a live commentary on this. And I have no problem doing it. So let's do that. CMC looked ill today. He's in withdrawal? No. That's not acceptable. I will drive straight to CMC's van, wherever it may be parked, and I will help that man out. I live 1 hour from him, unless he's driven somewhere else. Okay? He's mobile, so I don't know exactly where he's at. But if he sends me that location, if CMC hits me with the pin, with the 911 message, I'm there. 100%. Okay, let's keep going.
What's going on, guys? My first YouTube video. My name is Drew, and I'm going to give a little intro on myself before we get into this.
First YouTube video, guys. First YouTube video.
I'm 29. I live in Southern California, and basically I love to be a guinea pig, so I decided to go for the Raw Till 4 diet challenge, basically. I set a personal
I'll do a live stream with CMC. 100%. Set it up. Set it up.
To go for, and initially wanted to make
100%. I would rather go live with him than Vegan Gains.
Honestly, the physical results hadn't manifested themselves yet. So, although I felt good.
Okay, did you hear what I said? Did you hear what I said there? First 30 seconds of the video, I already basically say that the vegan diet didn't give me the results I was hoping for at 6 months, and that I wanted to wait it out longer because I felt pretty good. So, by lack of results, what I mean by that is I didn't get good digestion, and I didn't start growing. I was promised so much stuff as a vegan, like you're gonna fly, you're gonna get wings, you're gonna be the strongest you ever been in your life. We all know that stuff is so bullshit.
You know, I had an inconsistent workout routine, and I just got my first bike. We're talking at the 6-month mark. You know, I wanted to push the review out to another year because I did decide to just keep going with it. So it was worth it to me, definitely. Right off the bat, I knew that this was a good thing. So we'll get more into that later. But as far as the background on me goes, I came from a bodybuilding style background and diet. You know, 5 eggs for breakfast, you know, eating 150 grams of protein a day, whey protein, steak, chicken, depending on what I was doing, I would bulk up or, you know, lean down, the whole routine, you know, I'd go on workout.
Back in the day, guys, 168 pounds there on the right. And then that picture that just popped off, I was 183 pounds, full fat man, like strong, but fat, right? 183 pounds. Yeah, I could never hope to gain that type of weight as a vegan. Not that you'd want to,
go on
but
workout kicks of 6 to 9 months.
Oh, Garrett Scortino,
run down and then fall off the wagon.
Thank you for the Dallas fans.
Inevitably have to.
I'm 5'10", soap on slope.
Lose strength and then come back to the program. You know, this went on and off for 10 years.
I've got the Ryan Sheckler thing a lot,
never
Eli.
Never really getting anywhere. Never really getting super strong or even that aesthetic in terms of muscle. But you know, over time there was some little gains. So the purpose of this video. I'm going to break it into stages. I'm going to do it a little differently than everybody else does around here. I'm going to break it into a 1-year timeline. So you're going to see, you know, how it affected me in stages, basically. I'm going to cover the practical, everyday applications and aspects of Ralto 4.
What's up, Sid
Not
Meister?
going to get super technical in this video. I'm going to tell you how I felt, what I was doing, the type of results I was
Got
getting.
that ass on Houston,
and
Texas.
just kind of what was going on through my head in general. Before we do get into
Catch me at Magic.
Vegan. I had mono when I was 28, mononucleosis. Took me out for like a month. It's horrible. You really do not understand how precious your health is until it's gone. In general, though, I was chronically fatigued.
5G,
addicted to
nice.
caffeine. Several coffees a day to just keep my brain going. And I would drink Monster energy drinks in the evening or in the afternoon daily. Basically, I would buy the huge packs from the store, the 24 blocks, and then
I'm sorry to hear about the vertebrae.
drink those every day. So I also wanted to look better, but I didn't want to sacrifice any performance whatsoever. I even said before I got started that I would just quit the diet altogether if I lost strength in any way.
3 Asmo says plants have all nutrients. Nature equals vegan. Plants do have most nutrients. However, digesting them and assimilating them is a different story.
And even though I did lose some strength in the beginning, I still didn't quit because...
See, right here, I just say, even though I lost strength in the beginning of veganism, I still didn't quit. So I'm like foreshadowing the next 3 years of veganism for myself.
I like the way I felt.
I like the way I felt, though. Yeah, everybody feels good when they cut out a lot of drinking alcohol. They cut out tons of shitty fast food and processed food. And they're drinking banana sugar all day. Like, you feel like you're literally high on rocket fuel.
Eating disorder background, not in my opinion anyway.
No eating disorders.
Got into it initially for health, not for the animals.
Not for the animals, bitches.
I later got more into making the connection with the animals. I think this is a very important aspect of the diet, just like Durian Rider and Freelee say.
Oh, shout out to the DR. DR's the man, guys. Let's be honest here.
Even the most healthy eaters will, from time to time, have a snack. We're talking non-vegan, healthy fitness people. They will eat, a cake for a birthday. It's got eggs and, maybe butter in it or whatever. So if you don't make that connection with the animals, then you're going to make those rationalizations to have something that, might have a little bit of butter in it or whatever. So it's very important for everybody to
Yes.
realize
So
that.
so what I just said there was important. It's very important to brainwash yourself into thinking that you're doing an ethical thing for the world, because when the health concerns come, you need to have something that's going to keep you locked into the vegan diet. If you want to stay vegan, that's very important.
Okay, so first 2 weeks being vegan. So we're going to cover the positives first. So right off the bat, I got an immediate 5-pound weight loss within the first week, which stayed off entirely. So I dropped from 168 pounds to 163, and I held 163 for a while. We'll get to that later. Hygiene. Within 2 days, my breath got much better, especially on waking up. I suffered from bad breath for years.
This is important. This is an important part.
I absolutely hated it. Even though I took great care of my teeth and brushed several times a day, the smell would persist even when, especially when dehydrated. So, I'd be like scared to talk to people in the morning before I ate breakfast or whatever. Now I literally forget to brush my teeth until the evening sometimes because my mouth feels clean. There's like nothing there, guys. Seriously, it's amazing. My skin felt.
So this is a weird part of the whole thing. And at the time, yes, I thought my mouth and teeth felt clean. But what's interesting is that as soon as my dental or my enamel, as soon as my tooth enamel wore away, my teeth started to feel gritty and rough. Okay. So once that shiny, hard layer on the outside went away, then my mouth never felt clean after that. And I had all kinds of like bacteria on my tongue. And there's a girl who actually got me to go vegan in the first place. And I remember brushing my teeth and then heading over to her house. And I was drinking a banana smoothie on the way there. And when I got there, I was just chilling, hanging out, Mr. fucking Pimp Vegan, right? And I'm drinking my banana smoothie. And she was like, "What smells bad?" And she literally made me open my mouth and she smelled inside my mouth. And she's like, "Oh my God, like you need to brush your tongue because you have like banana bacterial sugar on your tongue, basically." And that is the first time that I realized that like the bacteria is really like getting dug into the crevices of the tongue, and that I probably had some sort of like potential candida bacterial overgrowth. And this was just the beginning, guys.
Felt cleaner, way less oily.
Definitely felt less oily.
The age of getting acne, but I just felt cleaner overall. And I also was able to quit caffeine from day one and never needed it again.
That is embarrassing, Cassie.
No withdrawals and never had it, even to this day. I think I've had one Coca-Cola during this
Oral
entire
Thrush.
year.
I think I've had it for a long time, but the vegan diet definitely exacerbated the problem.
Haven't had that in a while either. So first 2 weeks, we're going to cover the negatives.
Here's the negatives,
on what
first
to
2
eat.
weeks.
Not getting enough calories.
Okay,
I was
not getting enough calories.
grossly overestimating calories of like oranges and watermelon and stuff like that. It's amazing how much information you need to download into your brain to realize what it is that you need to do to make sure that you're getting enough calories on this diet.
You have to become a nutritionist and a
get
chemist.
Scale, right off the bat, get a scale, a little digital scale, run you about 20 bucks.
I love the vegan saying that other people didn't eat enough. Like here I am weighing bananas out, literally 2 pounds on the scale. That's 900 grams.
Totally worth it. Just to kind of gauge where you're at. Use Chronometer in the beginning, guys. Very important.
I was using Chronometer in the first 2 weeks of being vegan.
To dial in your calories. And
hey, later, Salome. Thank you for showing up. And anybody else, make sure you say hello and goodbye to me. I like that shit.
Selections that they have on Chronometer, because those can be off too.
Yes, constantly furry and white. Exactly. It's so gross.
Another negative is not knowing where to shop. I mean, I was still shopping at regular conventional stores, the standard convenience stores that are around.
Shout out to Chronometer, not sponsored.
No idea what to buy or what
Look at my shitty cart right there. It's so weak.
Just filling my shopping cart with what I thought made sense. It was interesting time.
Tristan, Vegan Games wants to talk with me after this is over.
I was making banana smoothies right off the bat.
Should I pull them into this channel?
And I would get bloating, pretty bad bloating for a while after eating those.
I'll have to make a new one. I want this one to be dedicated to Freelee.
Them ripe always, because
maybe I'll pop in on his channel if he's still going. I think I'll go on his channel.
The 2 weeks to
more exposure, right, guys? Why not?
Mark, we're going to cover the positives.
Introduce his
number one, I
subscribers to me.
Found a couple sources of food, around to shop at. I started shopping at
new
the
stream
local,
for sure.
Health food
We'll
store.
figure it out.
like a Whole Foods or Sprouts in our area is what they're called here. And I also had a small Mexican indoor, like sort of mini farmer's market that doesn't sell the highest quality food, but
Look at
they
this.
at least had ripe
Look at all that
stuff, and
food
they
I
had
was
more of a
buying, that
selection
fruit.
for me. Varieties.
Guys, we're so spoiled in Southern California. We have the best access to fruit probably anywhere in the world, honestly. Because if it doesn't grow here, it's shipped in here. And the stuff that grows here is amazing. Our stone fruits, berries, just damn near anything. All the bananas are shipped in, obviously. We have insane avocados year-round, pretty much.
Is very important on this diet, guys. And
Okay,
I
well,
also
I'll
shop
tell
at
Richard.
a little stand near the side of the road near my house, which actually had really good fruit all the time, papayas and stuff like that. And they're open seasonally, so very good resource for me at the time. Number two, I felt amazing mentally and spiritually. I was very sharp and clear-headed.
Yeah, it's
This
good
is
for both
without
sides here. We
caffeine
got
or
a lot of
anything like
stuff.
that. I had never felt like this ever.
So I say that I'm sharp and clear-headed. Again, consuming a ton of fruit sugar makes you feel energized. I have no problem saying that. It makes you feel energized, almost like a stimulant effect.
My brain just felt good. My eyes felt...
But 45 minutes later, you're starting to crash because the insulin is balancing things out.
focused and clear. It's very hard to describe the fruit high that you get when you have
the fruit high.
8-banana smoothie, but it's real. It's there. I drive around in the daytime with the windows down and just literally like sort of blissed out, as people would call it. I had this amazing feeling. I loved it.
I hear you living in alignment.
Like I said, I put my little notes here. I was very namaste at the time. It was very hard to throw me off my game. People couldn't piss me off. My friends were kind of getting weirded out by it. I used to talk
Hey, Eli, I agree with you, man.
a lot of crap. And
We talk, me and Primal Edge and Bobby and everybody talk behind the scenes, and we're all for full ability to speak your mind in this context of YouTube and debate and say what you need to say to each other in this public arena. Don't be going behind people's backs and trying to like contact universities or like the lawyers and stuff like that. Let's just not go that route. The people can make up their mind. This is an information channel.
And I wasn't that way for a while, so it was interesting. The last thing here on the positives
sorry, Primal Edge. Hold on. Let's get this out of the way.
Never a shortage of energy whatsoever. Whereas before going vegan, if I didn't have coffee in the morning after my breakfast, I would literally fall asleep in my computer chair within about 30 minutes of my breakfast. So I'd sleep all night, get a nice 8 hours of sleep, wake up, eat my breakfast, and then I would fall asleep again.
And by the way, I used to pass out at the end of my vegan journey as well.
Designed to operate. So that's not efficient. Okay,
God, my face is skinny.
2 weeks to 3 months negatives. I still had weak digestion, so I was still getting bloating.
3 months in?
After my meals, especially the banana smoothies for lunch.
Still getting bloating.
I
after
was
my smoothies.
Eating a lot of food for dinner too, to the point of discomfort. So I was eating, huge.
Ralto 4, you're supposed to eat to
eat,
discomfort.
White rice, a lot of white rice, and I did feel like I needed it at the time. I actually was really hungry for dinner, especially at the time.
Mm-hmm. Look how hungry I was.
Just kind of making jokes with my roommates about, hey, look how much I can eat. And, it was causing gas the next day, and it was causing bloating for sure. I'd be like a balloon Buddha belly for hours after my...
Hey, Tristan, let me know what Vegan Gains is up to on his channel over there.
I learned where and how to eat out, but unfortunately I still got caught with a couple non-vegan ingredients from time to time. I'd get butter in my white rice, or like I had egg rolls on accident a couple times. Whatever, just move on. Keep going forward.
Sparge is a little nutty.
Don't eat it next time. No harm, no foul, in my opinion. You're doing what you can. And another negative, I'd say, up to 3 months.
Agreed.
I was
Up on slope. It
one
is
of those people expecting a little more weight loss from this, but given the way that I was eating and that I wasn't doing any cardio at all, there was no more weight loss. So I was still holding 163.
So look at that. I say without additional cardio, I was holding steady at 163 pounds on Ralto 4 stuffing my guts. So Interesting.
Also lost a little bit of strength in the gym.
Losing
but,
strength still, 3 months
I
in.
attribute this
But maintaining weight. See, listen to this. Maintaining body weight, but losing strength. Interesting.
mostly to, probably still not eating enough foods or the right foods. And I also lost.
Hey, Tristan. Maybe we can set up a date. Maybe we can set the date up between vegan gains. He can finally get his shot at Bobby's perspective. Maybe.
Interest in the gym, so I was having trouble gaining strength, so I just kind of bombed out of it. I was getting kind of over.
I don't have a Twitter,
but I really was interested in getting more towards the cardio side, and
I'll have to message him on.
Okay, we're gonna cover the 3 months to 9 months mark. In my
Hangouts?
opinion, this is where the biggest gains are gonna be made for people. You're gonna learn a lot in this time period. You're gonna make a lot of growth with your knowledge of what's going on in the, as far as what you need to be doing, what you need to be eating. You're gonna, if you stay on this and you do your homework, you're gonna figure a lot of stuff out. So you're gonna find some stability.
Okay, cool.
Basically. We're gonna cover the 3 to 9 months positives. I found out about the farmers market during this time, so this was huge for me. I was able to find.
Look at this. Look at my freaking pantry, dude. Huge bag of rice. Multiple types of rice, black rice, jasmine rice. I got avocados up the wazoo, bag of onions, yellow bananas, and then green bananas. Look, even more avocados here. Nuts. And this was just on the shelf. This wasn't even I had a box of oranges on the ground here that you can't even see.
And high quality source of fruit and calories. And I was able to buy the best greens that money can buy. So
look at there's the oranges. Look at that. Multiple varieties, 20 pounds. I used to buy 20 pounds of just regular oranges. I can't think of the name right now for some reason. Brain fog, carnivore brain fog. And then I would get the orange ones, the Cara. And then here's another bag,
able
just
to buy the
more.
best
And another bag of
greens
rice.
that
Look
money
at
can
that.
buy. So, I pay $3 a pound for broccoli. The guys, the guys there know me by name at this point, and I love going there. I shop there every week. So, number 2, I learned how to cook with all the ingredients I was able to buy. So I was making a lot more home cooked meals that were giving me more variety, really quality meals, and I was figuring out how to eat a little bit less while still being satisfied. Size on me.
Let's speed it up a little bit here.
I lost
Okay,
about 5
cycling.
8 pounds.
I started losing weight when I started cycling.
And I
True.
did go to the dentist. The dentist that I go to, she scraped a tiny amount of plaque off my teeth with her tool. I mean, it was under a minute, and she was done. I mean, she basically sat me in the chair, looked at my teeth, and then I told her that I was vegan. She laughed. She gave me the thumbs up, and I went out the door, basically. Okay, so we're gonna do the 3 to 9 month negatives.
Curious about the negatives.
I would say that I lost my Zen Namaste feeling.
So I was no longer
maybe
feeling
it's taken
amazing.
for granted, but
3 months in, I was already
consistently.
not spiritual anymore.
I still felt great, but recognizing it in the moment was kind of gone. I just got used to it, so I still feel great though. So it's not a bad thing. Another negative, I was still not super impressed with strength performance.
Again, strength.
Quickly shifted my goals over to cycling. So I basically just
Interesting,
dumped the
Drew.
gym as far as what weights and strength training goes.
I quit going to the gym at 9 months in because I still couldn't figure out how to get strength. Fuck, dude.
Because I was doing a powerlifting type routine.
But now,
and I was making good gains before going vegan, and I was doing okay, but
I'm on the hot sauce.
I did expect to just continue on that same path when I went vegan, and I didn't. My mentality just shifted and what I wanted to do.
Your mentality
And
shifts
really,
as a vegan.
the whole
You
thing
get off
changed.
of the strength sports because you cannot
Another
perform.
negative, I missed the feeling of being super hungry for dinner towards the end of the 9 months. I got used to just pounding in that massive dinner, and that was fun to me, but it went away. I didn't want to eat such huge meals anymore.
Didn't want to eat huge meals anymore. Which, by the way, towards the very end of my 4 years veganism, I was really struggling to eat my dinners, and I really was moving towards higher fat because I wanted to consolidate the nutritional value and the caloric density. I was fucking dying, dude. I was trying to fit everything into a bowl this big, instead of eating like a big trough.
Kind of got the fuel that it needed to heal whatever I was doing to it. You know, I used to drink a lot, and I used to eat a lot
All right,
of
Primal
crap
Edge.
foods when
All
I was
right,
doing
good.
bodybuilding things.
I'll be
So
done in
probably
under 10 minutes.
it needed to
I'll
flush
fast
that
forward
stuff
this,
out. It probably
and we'll
is
get on
still
Richard's
doing work
channel.
right now, a year in, but you know, who knows? Okay.
Yeah, injuries do not heal on a vegan diet.
Day. So
straight
really
up.
3 months ago to where I'm at today. I made a lot of realizations during this time and fine tuning to the diet and my workout regimen, and it's still in progress, but it's looking good at this point.
Yeah, right.
So we're gonna first cover the positives. A local mountain climb PR personal record.
Yeah, I made PR cycling because there we go. There's the cycling. There's the cycling gains right there, guys. You know, just lean, and basically I'm starting to get the vegan shoulders, as you can see. I'm losing all shape there. Losing all shape.
You know, I've had to mess with the fitting of the bike and stuff like that. You know, weight wouldn't gain. I honestly don't even think it's possible to gain weight on this diet, at least for me.
Yep.
Even eating a pretty high amount of calories compared to what normal people
while
think
cycling.
is like,
you can gain weight if you're
reasonable
not
amount of
cycling.
calories, but
just like Durian Rider always says that he doesn't cycle very much, but if you average out his daily miles on Strava, he's cycling something like 20 to 25 miles a day, plus he walks everywhere. So the dude literally has like 2 to 3 hours of low intensity cardio per day.
It could be my age. It could be a lot of other factors in my life.
And yes, somebody said
very happy with that.
Somebody said to gain weight on carnivore, you incorporate milk and fruit. And yes, I agree.
It's definitely worth it.
Thanks, Eli. Hey,
I'd also like to
watch Frank's ass. All right.
Cover, you know, around the 6-month mark, my skin on my arms and my back cleared up considerably. So I used to have chronic acne, and in those spots, my skin is basically, it's like butter smooth now. So I never even thought about that.
Where's CMC at?
I actually know a friend in Texas that is going through. He's on his first month of going vegan.
I'm talking about my buddy Jason, who is still vegan right now. And by the way, this vitiligo, I'm talking about how the vitiligo is going away, and that's not true.
5 years ago, that you know, it looks.
He still has the vitiligo came back completely.
You know, just big patches of white spots.
So it kind of like sounds like
clearing up considerably just within 1 month. So
definitely not clearing up considerably. They definitely did not. It definitely did not stop.
You know,
I spit all over this thing.
Me, this was like his version of that. And basically, he's sold, he's hooked.
So there you go. So this is just a good example of like a newbie vegan selling bullshit here, and I'm that guy in this video. 1 year in, I'm like, vitiligo, my buddy's getting rid of vitiligo. I feel great, blah blah blah. And then in reality, like you fast forward 2-3 years, like the vitiligo is full on back, and also I obviously wasn't feeling very good on the vegan diet.
When you get results like that instantly, that just immediately fixes some long-standing issue.
You think I look better as a vegan? Okay.
It changes.
That's fine.
You're not willing to go back.
This was 4 years ago, so.
What else can we cover here?
You don't want me to.
You know, cooking and eating.
You don't want me to hang with Frank?
At this point, it's pretty easy. I know the local spots and even spots that are in other cities. You know, my friends eat with me now at full vegan restaurants. They kind of know the deal. You know, like I said, the farmers market guys know me by name, give me VIP treatment when I go.
All right, Drew, you're special. You're VIP fucking fruit buyer.
I also want to say that between the 3 people that I just mentioned that are going vegan or have kind of dabbled with it, they've all lost 10 to 20 pounds in less.
It's true. Most vegans do lose some weight right off the bat
from starting vegan. So, you know, everybody's losing weight. They all had more weight to lose than I did. But and you know, I
thought Frank's video,
who's pretty overweight, like
I thought Frank's video about the butter was really good today.
And you're mostly fat. You have a lot of weight to lose, and it will happen pretty quickly.
I don't have a problem with Frank at all.
Something like Beralto 4. Okay, we're gonna cover the negatives.
I think he should stay humble though. Make sure he stays humble. His channel has grown quite a bit.
Digestion for
look at that, 9 months in to current day. And I'm talking about still fine-tuning digestion. How many times did I bring up digestion in this video?
You know, when I say digestion, that's a pretty broad term. But for me, I know it's going to give me like constipation at this point. Don't eat unripe bananas. And for me, it's like pasta, like full wheat gluten pasta. Feels like cement's been poured in my intestines.
Hey, Marielle, I thought you said you had to unfollow. I was a little hurt by that, just because me and Elise hang out. I thought you were out of here for good.
It
hurt my
I
feelings.
can't handle that. So, you know, it's just small things like that. But overall, it's worth it.
I thought I saw that thumbnail. It was funny.
I figured out that like kale in my smoothies gives me way more gas than I want.
Kale in the smoothies gave me gas? That's good to know.
I cut that out. I put spinach in my smoothies, and it's better. And actually, another negative is trying to find out how to stop.
Elise she flew out today.
So, you know, 148 pounds. I don't want to go much lower.
Yeah, I do grain meat too.
140 pounds is probably going to be my rock bottom limit. And then, you know, if I hit 140 pounds.
Hey, Asmo, you asked me why I was obsessed with I was obsessed with digestion and why I didn't eat moderately. Well, if I ate moderately, I would lose weight. So it was a constant battle between eating enough food to maintain my weight or having bad digestion.
Which today, actually, after my ride, I actually was 145.
I can't Skype. My Skype's broken. I can only use Google Hangouts.
Slow down on the cycling, or I don't know.
Even Primal Edge can vouch for that.
When it gets here, but yeah, I'm starting to lean out pretty hardcore, and I'll throw some pictures up before and after.
Exactly.
You know, and like I said, the weight loss, you just have to be patient with it. Okay, closing remarks and tips from me.
What do we got, Drew? What do we got?
Number one, I used to force in 3,000 calories a day, sometimes higher, when I first started eating this way.
Okay, see? I was eating 3,000 calories a day back in the day.
I don't worry about the numbers anymore. I just eat when I'm hungry and eat till I'm satisfied. If I had to put a number on it, I probably eat around 2,300 calories a day on the low end, where I don't do anything at all. So if that's what I'm hungry for, that's what I eat. I don't worry about it. I'm not about stuffing myself, my face. I did that when I was doing the bodybuilding stuff, you know, smashing in 5 meals a day. I hated it, and if I'm not interested in that, I'm not going to do it. So I'd say I'm 3,200 calories on the high end when I do a lot of cycling, and when I'm eating on the ride. And,
I was training. I was actually working out 5 days a week and cycling 5 days a week. I was cycling 100 miles a week most weeks. And I was climbing 10,000 feet of elevation. That was my goal for the week.
I don't do anything. And then also for dinner, I'll put in an extra scoop of rice or something like that. And then that's what I'll eat.
So to say that I didn't need the calories is incorrect. I was burning I was burning 1,600 calories on an average ride.
Only fruits. So definitely lately I've been
I'm aging.
a ton of
whatever
for breakfast. I love that.
I stopped cycling because I got an injury in my left hamstring. And I had just purchased a fucking sick ass TCR, giant TCR, like a $3,300 bike after discount. And I love that bike, dude. It was so amazing. And I just literally couldn't keep cycling because my ass cheek was so busted.
It just seems to kickstart the whole system. You get hydrated from it. And for lunch, I have a...
Do you guys think me and CMC should go on a road trip together?
It makes me feel the best to eat this way.
I want to take him to Vegas.
It makes me hydrated. You know, like I said, I probably had a banana smoothie for 340 out of the past 365 days. It's amazing to never get tired of eating that.
And I did eat banana smoothies till my last days.
You know,
I liked banana
nothing
smoothies.
Else on the planet that you could.
Let's see, Saeed, you're asking tips for bodybuilding, building strength and muscle on a body weight. You just have to keep in mind progressive overload. You have to keep in mind like the standard gym principles. Make sure you're eating enough protein, obviously. And yeah, so like if you instead of bench press, you're obviously doing like ring dips and like push up type of stuff. Make sure you're getting enough volume, and make sure the exercises that you're doing are appropriate for your skill level. Make sure that you're struggling, but like enough that you can do at least like 8 to 10 reps.
Eat for that many days in a row that you wouldn't get sick of. You know, I don't care what
I do look older.
Favorite.
No, I can't. This video is actually boring me. I'm gonna shut it down in a second here.
Digestion. And really, your only way to be truly your.
What are my closing remarks?
Don't kill ice cream for like his first week on the diet, and he said he already lost like 10 pounds or whatever, and we were just cracking up. Like
Vegan Revolution finally has a good point.
That you could eat vegan ice cream and eat vegan food all day and you're gonna lose weight without even really trying, I mean, people would be jumping on this like crazy. It's just the message needs to get out to more people.
We're gonna switch over to Richard's channel in a second.
Something that's like so scary to people.
He wants to get it popping.
Anyways, so
Let's
thanks
go.
for watching the video, guys. Give it a thumbs
Okay.
up.
Anyways, I only brought this video up because Freelee was pulling clips out of it, and I thought it would be good to cover it. So it's like it is what it is. Anyway, so all right. What else do we got here? Okay. So we will I think we're gonna pop in. No, I can't grow a full beard. Oh, still no link. Okay, so then I'm gonna keep the stream up then. I look crazy in this. Let's watch some CMC, guys. Why not? I haven't seen this video yet.
Shake.
I don't know. My hair and nails grew the same speed on carnivore as it did on vegan. I didn't have any issues with that. Yeah, I definitely think that rings are good over non-rings because you can get more full range of motion and you can adjust the difficulty a lot easier. Are you and Elise dating? You should answer that claim. Who's making this claim? This intro is amazing. Guys, I have to 100% admit I'm a fucking fan of CMC. And I know that he's gonna, I don't want people to seem like I'm trying to get on his good side so he doesn't make fucking bullshit videos of me, which he has made. Trust me, guys, CMC has been so wrong about some of the stuff he's put out about me, but it still cracks me up when his video where he's talking about I'm a 33-year-old man and I'm on a cut, literally making me laugh for like hard. So funny.
Go to the original source, the plants. They're loaded with omega-3 fats.
There, nigga.
This is very...
Okay, everyone, what's going on? And welcome back to the channel. CMC Broadcasting, back with another video. And I told you guys yesterday, in last night's report, I told you I wanted to do a video going a little bit...
Should I hang out with CMC, guys? He lives like an hour away.
This Wacko Jacko stuff. Actually, I'm gonna need my...
I hope you guys saw the Wacko Jacko.
My notes. So I want to talk about Wacko Jacko. And I also want to read comments from his latest YouTube video. Now, like I said in my video from yesterday, slight variation on the title.
Yes,
slight
Saeed,
variation
yes.
of the Why I'm No Longer Vegan video title. His video title is actually Why I'm No Longer Convinced Veganism is the Answer. So, I like
100% Eli, my favorite homeless guy.
It was, something kind of new to catch the eye, right? Something new in the ex-vegan drama, but it just goes to show you guys, I told you.
He's so skinny now. He needs to put on a couple LBs. What do you guys say?
The mass
just a little bit.
Veganism, it's not over. Clearly it's not over, right? I mean, it's every week now somebody else comes forward.
Yeah, Wacko Jacko, I think that's going to slap a lot of vegans in the face, that guy leaving, because he was like fully in on the
vegan YouTube scene. So he's just coming out now. He says he's been reverted
hey,
back
thanks,
to
Primal
a
Experiment.
diet for over a month now, and he just came out.
We're just out here having fun, man, sharing the truth.
I'm telling you guys,
the purpose of my channel, guys, is number one, I am going to release some stuff soon. I am going to release some stuff about my system. I want to talk about how to gain muscle and do all the damn thing. I want to talk about what I eat, and I want to make it as easy as possible. Like some people, they focus on the putting in hours a day on all this stuff. I want to make it accessible for people because I spent so much time as a vegan just trying to be healthy and wasting a lot of time. Send me a hangout links for a stream. Still waiting for Richard. Let's warm up the chat a bit. Are we going on your channel, Tristan? Or are we going to go on? Richard's? Sorry, it's so hard to talk and do YouTube and read the chat at the same time. Can you please critique Hench Herbivore's latest video answering comments? I don't know if I want to start another fight, guys. I don't know if I want to start another fight. I think that I've got enough on my plate right now. We've already got the biggest names in the game talking shit. We got Freelee. We got Durian Rider who tried to call me out, and then he ended up being a little friendly bloke on the stream. And then you had Vegan Gains about to talk to us tonight. It's like, what else do we want, man? Do we really need Hench Herbivore? Really? It's really not even like interesting to me. Who cares if Wacko ate junk crap food? I mean, every vegan eats crap food in my opinion. They're all eating the fake mock meats and stuff like that. Sarah Keller, congratulations. I'm glad that you started lifting. I think everybody should lift a bit. Being fat is cool. You're going to be really strong. And when you shred down, you're going to be fucking awesomely strong and shredded. Hey, thank you, Brighton Fuller, sending Elise and Freelee and me some love. We all need it, man. There's been a lot of toll on everybody emotionally and mentally, leaving the veganism, battling each other. It's kind of shitty that it has turned out this way, but oh well, man. Some of us are still going to stand up out here, sharing our experience, even though we're being super bullied by everybody, you know? Yeah, exactly. It's like the mock meats is like one of those things, just like the whole juice fasting or the water fasting. Some people do it and they're successful at it. Some people do it and they go back to eating animal products like 5 days later, and then people blame the fasting. But people like Freelee did water fasting 8 years ago, and she's still vegan, so obviously it didn't affect her that way, right? Doesn't make any sense. She didn't gain weight afterwards. So just make stuff up whenever it suits their agenda.
We read the comments. He literally,
it's bullshit.
He broke his viewers' hearts. He broke their hearts. So he talks about how now he's ready to listen to the other
his
side.
comment section is so lit.
He talked about it when he was vegan. He had his vegan blinders on, and he just wouldn't listen to any other,
Futsunen, I was in that boat with the vegan gains stiff arming, but man, after being called out by Freelee today, like we've already surpassed vegan gains on terms of the vegan watch list. So, like, it's like, all right, vegan gains, like let's throw him a bone. You know what I mean? What's he gonna possibly say to me? Freelee already tried to roast me. Say I have red neck steroid neck. It's called getting tan. Look how tan I am now. I walk every day in the sun with my shirt off in California, Southern California. What do you know? People get sunburned. The vegan boss is definitely Freelee. She's the vegan queen boss.
His opinion or his ideology.
This isn't even her final form yet. I guarantee there's going to be another volley.
And I think a lot of us can relate to this, And I don't know if that's because of the vegan diet, right? Does the vegan diet...
She's not done. She's going to shift forms into another entity and then make another video, I'm sure.
Accept new information, or is it psychologically where you're like, just being idealistic and...
See, but this is the thing about this is the thing about bashing Wacko Jacko is the carnivores, like, they're not the I told you so type of people. That's the difference. The vegans are the I told you so type of people. Carnivores are like, dude, I'm trying to help you here. Please wake up. And then when people wake up, they're like, fuck, man, I'm glad that you were able to step out of it. They're like genuinely happy for you. It's the difference.
Because you're set in your sort of your belief system. I'm still trying to figure that out myself, But he does describe how he sort of had these blinders on, and he just...
All right, I got to focus on CMC here, guys. Come on. Got to give my boy his due.
Tried to present evidence to him that contradict his own beliefs. So he says he's now open, looking for other sources. He does have a son, right? He says that he doesn't want to jeopardize his son's health. I think that was a huge reason why he reverted
What's up,
to a
Mish?
non-vegan diet.
Oh, Mish, you missed some quality live content today.
Drama, and I reported on this last night. Allegedly, he has a painting by Gary Urufsky, and we'll take a look at the comment where somebody said
CMC used to be vegan cheetah.
Gary gave you or sent you, and send it to me. So he does.
Wacko Jacko came out, resting bitch face. He's no longer vegan. He's been eating animal foods for a month. Mish, you just got to go back. I did a critique of Freelee's video on me. She released today. There's been a lot of drama, and then I did a little critique of my own video. She brought up some clips in that video, so I wanted to go back and basically talk about that video. Some of the things that I said that were positive about veganism, I wanted to clarify. Some of the things that were negative about veganism, I wanted to either point out or compare it to how I was at the very end of my veganism. All right, Soap on Slope, you got it, buddy.
Arguments for both sides.
Oh, let me pull you in then. Okay, hold on.
Side.
Let's get the boy in. Let's get the boys in. Should we just get? I think. Okay. Let's get the boy Primal Edge here. Primal Edging, as he's also known. Let's get the answer going there, Tristan. You're blowing my ears out. Apparently, he didn't answer. All this live stuff is so fun. You know, we've got to call people. It's like having a talk show. Okay, I got a question for you guys. Oh, here we go. We got the message. There we go. Okay. I've got a question for you guys in the chat. Do you guys like all this live stuff that's been going on, even though the content is like longer and more spread out, but you get a lot more of it? Or do you guys like the edited videos where somebody waters or, you know, condenses everything down in a 5-minute video or 10-minute video or whatever? I personally like doing the live stuff. I think it's more fun. Oh, we got Tristan. Okay. No video, Tris, or no? Or what? Okay, no worries. Stephanie Burns, I'm on top of it, okay? I'm on top of it. I'll take your advice. I'll try. Yeah, on family, I agree. You gotta like... I can hear you. I don't know if you can hear me. Let's see. I'm glad you guys like the live stuff because honestly, I prefer it. And I love interacting with the chat and doing all the screen sharing stuff. I think it's really fun. Editing videos, guys, is dope. And when you have the final product, it's so satisfying to upload something and then like keep up with the comments on it. But man, it's so much work for what you get, in my opinion. Yeah, and I feel like you can grow your community definitely a lot better. Like I enjoy interacting with the chat. So, oh, Tim Sheaf contacted Tristan. I was talking to him today. I think my boy Tim. I think me and Tim need to do the exclusive. What do you guys think about that? I think I deserve Tim the most. I'm just playing, man. Tim, you do whatever you want to do, man. But I love Tim Sheaf. I'm like a fan of Tim Sheaf. I really am. He's the coolest dude. Tim. Something people don't understand about Tim Sheaf is Tim. It's so funny. People talking shit on Tim. Like, man, saying bad stuff about Tim Sheaf, you have no idea. Okay, cool. You got the flat Earth thing. Say what you want about that. All right, but Tim is next level, and I don't mean this lightly. He is a genius with physical body to mind connection and physical movement stuff. He's an absolute genius. You back the dumbest vegans ever. Tim Sheaf and CMC. You're retarded. Oh man. Nicholas Dime, you need to start appreciating people for what they are and not for what you want them to be. How about that? That's a good piece of life advice for you, buddy. Tim Sheaf is fucking amazing, dude. Like, truly amazing. He asks questions that people have never even considered before. You know what I mean? Like, he asks body questions that people aren't even thinking about. And I'm sorry, I can't think of a good example of it, but when he does bring these topics up, you're like, what the fuck? Like, how did that even happen? Hey, Raw Alignment. How you doing? Dancing Light says, Drew, your ego if fucking huge and you ain't all that. Sid, you better back down, boy. The more people are talking shit to me is just, especially something like that. Drew, you're ugly. Drew, you're old. Drew, whatever. Like, I got a problem when people call me a liar or say, or like, yeah, say I'm trying to mislead people. That shit pisses me off. I don't care about the personal insults. I can take that. No problem, guys. Trust me. No problem. Bring it on. Yo, can you hear me? There we go. All right. I just have myself on my screen right now. Hey, I'm glad Elise you got stocked up on Whole Foods. Okay, everybody guess what Elise got. I already know. Okay, smoked salmon. Hold on. Smoked salmon. She got... can she cook in her little apartment? Yeah, she probably got some eggs. And no, not wild salmon. Not wild salmon. Oh, sorry. I gotta keep that one down. Okay. She got the wild salmon. Nobody thinks farm-raised salmon tastes better than wild salmon. Nobody in the world. Damn, dancing light. See, I even approved that disgusting message. You know, I like to expose you hateful, hateful people. And I read that and I don't even feel 1% a different type of way, you know? Huh. Interesting. Vegan Deterioration. Best YouTube channel. Best YouTube channel. Ooh. How much you guys want to bet that Dancing Light is going to be subscribed to my channel by the end of this broadcast? Ribeye so good. Smoked salmon, eggs, bacon, and ribeye. Okay, classic. Jamie, do you have a channel? I can't remember if you hate on me or if you don't hate on me. There's a few people that I have that they go back and forth. They talk shit in one comment and then in another one they love me, and then I don't even understand how they do it. Anyway, it's all good, man. You guys want to hate, that's all good. That just like, it honestly brings out the friendship of the people who do support you. Then they just come in and then they make fun of you. Like, it's so easy. LA douche. Anyway, I'm not going to give you any more attention because other people who are contributing deserve it a lot more than you. I'm sorry. Tess, is that like real Tess? Is that Tess? Jamie, okay, I'm going to your channel right now. Hold on, let me check you out. So he said that you are epitome of you made it to an epitome of malnourishment. Oof, that's not a good one to be on. Sid Meister, another 2, baby. Vegans treat animals nicer than humans. That is a fact of life. Let's be honest here. They actually don't even know animals. They go to the petting zoo, right? And then they go to the petting zoo. I have you on your blacked out Darth Vader mode. Okay. Let me know when it's good to go. And you're on the stream, but you're only voice. You're not. I can only see your like neck or your neck down. It looks like you got like a mask on. All right, I'm gonna pop you on then. You're getting on streaming. There we go. Looks funny. Mm-hmm. Rich Roll, I consider a successful long-term vegan, although I have a suspicion that he's... I have a suspicion, this is a theory, that he's dabbling with other things. Or been dabbling and just doesn't really talk about it, because I don't think he would consider it that important. Does he? Oh, okay. I don't know. I haven't seen him in a long time. I used to listen to his podcasts. That's how I knew about Joel Kahn. I knew about all these guys. Mm. No comment. I got nothing against Rich Roll, man. He seems like he's definitely a nice guy. So I don't know about, the information, all the other stuff. Oh, they can't hear you. Oh, my bad. Oh, sorry, guys. I got it. I got you now.
It's all good.
Dancing Light says, fuck, here's Satan.
Here, I'll make it darker. I'm trying to adjust my...
Oh, we got Running Bear. Hey, Running Bear, welcome to the stream. Good to see you. Good to see you.
Drew, how does it feel to be a fake natty now?
Honestly, I don't even feel like it's real. Like, I don't feel like I've fully achieved the status yet.
You don't think you've earned it?
No. I have not earned it yet.
Do you think Freelee's try to play psychological warfare games by boosting your ego to get you to like slip up?
That would be some really advanced YouTube stuff, but yeah, I don't think that they're on that level, because I even said, like, they just keep bringing me up and they're just making me more popular. Yeah. If they were smart, they just wouldn't say my name. They would just pretend like old Drewski over there is nobody,
That's true, man. You're too damn likable. This is why I thought that they were using the tactic on me of just, ignore him, don't ever respond to him.
Yeah.
But then the one guy that kind of made the mistake, Goji Man, he let it slip a little bit, and he kind of mentioned me a few times, but he wouldn't say why he was mad at me. I think it kind of backfired on him. A lot of his viewers ended up coming over and kind of turning to the back to Team Humanity. But yeah.
Any word from old Goji?
No, man, not since I talked to him that one time. I emailed him and told him, hey, I made a video and talked about you. Hope it's all good. If you want me to take it down, I will. Just respectfully told him, shared some thoughts about our conversation, which he told me was fine before. And I haven't heard from him since. So I hope he's doing well. He's probably finishing up his master's degree and getting all his stuff together. I guess he put his videos back up. Someone told me. Someone said in your chat right now, his videos are up. So.
Is today the day? Like, what's your take on Richard today? What's his mood like? He came in all friendly.
Yeah.
Is he?
I don't know. Well, he came in a little bit upset at first, and then you were a little friendly. I think it's hard to be. You're a real likable guy. You're not. You don't confront them in a cruel way. I think. I don't know. You and I both kind of do our best to build bridges for these people. We'll talk some shit when we need to, but we like to build a bridge. We want to have conversations.
I feel. It's a slippery slope, man, for these guys.
It is.
They wanna brush up against they want to hold the enemy close, but it's dangerous, dude. They get infected.
Yeah, we'll make you we want to help you guys. We want you to be our friends.
Yeah. Like I said earlier, I feel the carnivores aren't the "I told you so" type of people. They're the "dude, I'm so happy for you that you did this and tried this and were open-minded," versus a vegan would be like, I told you so, you should have stuck with it, or something like that. Like they have this weird psychological game to play where we were just literally giving you the information and saying, try it for yourself, listen to your body when the time comes, and if it works, it works, and it probably will work.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It is what it is. I think a lot of these people, they end up, I think the ones who are really emotionally, or not even emotionally, but, financially and egotistically invested in it, they know what's coming. It's like they don't want to talk to somebody on a real level. So they'll set up a frame game to where it's just they control the dialogue. There's no real humanity in it, and I think if they keep it on that level, they're able to maintain the glass house a little bit, you know. And you do a really good job at just bypassing bypassing the glass house. You walk in there, you kind of wipe the fog off the glass window for them and tell them, hey, look, it's all good on the other side. We're over here trying to be friends. We're here trying to build bridges. You know, we're not over here trying to make a we're not over here trying to start a cult like some other folks on the internet. We're not trying to start some I don't know, some non-vegan alternative cult. We're here just trying to see to spread what's true and spread what's real. And
who's got bigger I agree. Somebody said, who's got bigger steroid muscles? I think Tristan has, because we're the same height, right? You're 5'10".
I'm 5'9", actually. Maybe I don't know. I thought I was 5'9", and then it was like, then I thought I was 5'8". I'm not sure which one.
And but you weigh 160 right now?
Dude, I weighed 167 the other night.
Oh man, I would love I would love to be 167.
Look, man, it's not all muscle gain, right? You get a little fat, a little bit of fatness coming with the muscle.
Yeah.
I feel better when I'm not super lean. I know you've been getting shredded down to 145.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to stay out. See, that's what people are like, oh, just go all the way, like cut all the way down. And I'm like, no, I don't want to get any smaller than 145.
Dude, you're 5'10", 145. I mean, I'd put on a little fat, put some muscle on.
Yeah.
I feel like, 5'10", 160, pretty solid.
Yeah. I'm thinking, long term, I'd like to be 170 to 175 final form, 8% body fat. That's like, we're talking life goals, basically.
Mm-hmm. Man, if I get like below like 10%, like true 10% body fat, I think people underestimate how lean 10% body fat really is.
Agreed. I think I'm just getting to around there right now. Although, well, never mind. I'm gonna keep that to myself. I'm gonna sound real stupid if I say that. Let's see. Health optimal protocol on carnivore for. Okay, there you go. That's a good question. What do you think, Tristan? The healthy optimal protocol on carnivore for cutting or recomposition.
Okay, Syed, he was asking me that earlier. I mean, I think he's actually, from what he told me earlier that he's doing and he wants to do, I think he's pretty close. I mean, if you want to cut / recomp, I mean, there's a difference between cutting and recomp. If you're going to cut, you're going to lose some strength. If you're going to cut, you're going to lose some energy. If you're going to cut, by the time you're done, you're going to be hungry, right? I mean, recomp could be like maintenance calories, 6-month journey, and at the end of it, you weigh the same, but you got 5 pounds more muscle and 5 pounds less fat.
Exactly. I like the recomp approach. Okay, we got Richard. He said, so anytime you want to chat, I'm available. I'm still streaming now. So should I just cut this and then we both jump in? I guess we should.
Richard, let me come on too, man. We've been talking about doing a stream too. That'd be fun. You and I and Drew. Richard, if you send, Drew doesn't have Twitter. If you send me the link for Google Hangouts, or should we just send him the link to this one and he can make this go live in his thing?
I don't know how. I would rather cut this because I want this to be about the Freelee thing. Yes.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying we could cut this because you're not streaming through Hangouts. If I send him a Hangout link to this room because you and I are already here.
Oh, yeah.
Well, let's see. I might have him. Let's see. Vegan Richard.
If you have him on Hangouts, then contact him through there.
Let me find him on Hangouts. I like talking to Richard, and I've wanted to have like a real conversation with him for a while. Look at all these people. All these people are mad about vegan gains. Come on, guys. Be nice.
I'm over it. Like I said, final boss Freelee has thrown down the gauntlet on me. So like Richard, this is a warm up. This is a warm down,
Yeah, and people keep saying, "Oh, Richard's so terrible, this and that." You know what? Come on, let's be honest, guys. Richard's changed up his tune a lot in the last couple of years. Now, I mean, I guess you could argue whether it's genuine or not, if he's just doing it because he doesn't want to get kicked off YouTube. I don't know. But the guy he's been pretty nice as far as his content recently. I don't think he's been too absurd or he's toned down the cruelty and all that. I think he's grown as a man. I don't know. I got love for all the vegans.
All right, you've convinced me. I know how my tone's going to be in the stream now.
You were going to be combative. You can't be combative with Richard.
No, not combative.
Nice. Just when you actually talk to him, he seems like a pretty nice person. Like all these guys, Except Durian Rider. That guy's a straight up psychopath.
Durian Rider was the nicest on the stream.
Yeah,
He came
exactly.
through-
Exactly.
He came through
because
all
they're-
friendly.
Psychopaths know exactly when to give
Yeah.
you fake charm and fake nice. They know how to frame things. They want to frame themselves in a certain way. It's
Yeah.
they don't have emotion, so it's they're you know.
All right, we gotta talk to old Richie Rich over here, dude. How do I freaking contact this guy?
Here, let me see. Here, I'll tell him send me Hangouts link on Twitter, and I'll pull up Twitter.
Do you have him on your?
I thought I had him on Hangouts, but I guess I deleted my history.
Okay.
Because I've talked to him before on Hangouts.
Christian or Durian would kick the shit out of both you fake natties. The air puncher too.
That's the best video. Durian Rider Air Puncher 2. You guys got to watch that.
I'm gonna literally have to put that on right now, dude. The Durian Rider. I'm pulling up a classic Durian Rider, dude. The original video.
Nice. I didn't know where the original video was.
No, not the air puncher. The
But he put that footage up.
shit.
He legit put that footage up like it was something impressive.
No, the shit cyclists say. That's my favorite, dude.
Yeah.
Hang on, let me get this up, dude.
I'm a lean machine.
This is literally what made me like Durian Rider back in the day. Is this fucking video, dude? Oh my god.
People in Vegan Gains chats are asking me to unblock them, and I'm unblocking them.
There you go. Get them in. Get them all in. You know.
Can you
Here we go.
unblock
We
me?
got-
Okay, I guess. All right, I'm waiting for. Let's see, Twitter.
Dude, check out
There's no
Wiggle.
message on Twitter. Oh, I guess maybe I should turn. I don't want to
Rick,
listen
you
to
seen Dave
Vegan
Zabrisky's
Gains things. It'll go
moustache?
through my
Lean
mic.
as
I'm just watching
can
the
be.
video.
Does this look too blocky? 56 or 58?
You like cottonseed oil, Raphael? No, what do you think about cottonseed oil? Is that even people eat that?
Really fascinating.
Lean machine. Hold your line. I lost the shoe.
So
Come on.
I guess I'll just wait.
I like Freelee's side shade today too on Durian Rider talking about the. I know what it's like to date a steroided man.
Yeah, dude, best Durian Rider clip ever is him with a Sprite can rubbing it on his abs.
They're all so good, dude.
Together, man.
That's my favorite.
Fucking work together,
I'm gonna get
man.
warranty on this.
I had to check. There was a
This
chain on my
camera
bike.
has a
My
little
legs felt
light.
so good. Fuck, I feel good. I don't know about Dave Zabriskie, man. That
so
dude's
bright.
weird.
Nah, Dave Zabrisky's alright. He's pretty
Man.
cool.
I've got my professional lighting set up.
I'm so hungry. I couldn't even wait to get the checkout.
See, I only see
These
you
glasses
in
are
the
so
stream
Bobby Julik.
video, and it's a few seconds behind.
Insulated or not
Yeah.
insulated?
I tried to use the low latency thing, so we'll
Can't
see.
believe I lost a shoe.
Hopefully it's not like 30 seconds, it's only like 10 seconds. It's way better for chat interaction.
Man, it was fast today. 5 square carbon, that's where it's at. Wait, dude, Wiggle's got another sale on.
I've got these M frames with Bobby Julik.
You gotta dance like Lance, man. Spinners are winners.
I'm gonna pull up the air puncher.
Easy.
So good, dude.
Dude, Vegan Gains is watching Durian Rider videos right now too. Vegan
No.
Gains, send me the dang link. What are we doing here?
What are we doing here? We're
Are
all
we
having a
like
good
you're
time.
in your own stream watching? Oh no, he's watching our stream. Okay.
What is going on?
It's a reflection of a reflection of a reflection of a reflection.
Peace reflections.
I see you on the other side.
We should watch Nature Boy videos. That'd be good.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm high with all my homies, and we're all just trying to watch YouTube videos to kill time, you know?
Yeah. Well,
Melissa,
we
I'm
need Vegan
sorry.
Gains in here. Is he gonna come in? Maybe he should just come in here.
Yeah.
I don't know. He might think we're trying. I don't know what he thinks.
Well, we're not gonna.
People don't. Yes,
Only
Air
problem is-
Puncher 2. Yes.
Only problem is you guys can't see me through my stream. So in order for us to do a thing, we'd have to like call, through the phone. So it is what it is.
Here, let me see what Vegan Gains is saying.
The fucking zoom in is so good, dude.
Dude, this video is pretty well edited.
It's so
Look at this
good.
footage. Durian Rider posted this footage on his YouTube channel like it's something cool.
It is cool.
Look at that.
I like the question mark kick that he does.
It's beautiful. Do they have audio? Can they hear the air puncher music?
Oh yeah, they can hear it. Yeah, it's good.
Cool.
Yeah, it's good.
Because I can't hear it. Look at that kick. Look at the extension on that.
Here we go. Here we go. This is game over.
See, my commentary is late though because I can only see what the stream sees, and they're like 30 seconds behind us.
Didn't DR get fucking clacked up by some dude that he was talking shit about online with the dog?
Is that the footage right there?
Look at DR. He's such a maniac, dude.
That's it. It's fucking game over.
Look at him. Look at that flinch.
Come on, me, you cunt.
He's like, made you flinch, bitch. Look at those shorts. Bitch boy.
Oh, this guy right here.
Will you grab me a sweater?
You're a fucking idiot. You're a fucking wanker.
You know who he is.
You're a worthless piece of shit. You're fucking worthless. You're a little fucking skeleton.
Take off, mate. Take off, bro.
Okay, mate, it's doing all right, and
Oh, this video went really dark. Okay, all right. Enough video fuckery here.
Well, hey Drew, have you figured out how to send the audio, how to use properly the banana? What is it? Voice meter banana or whatever?
No, I haven't done any of that stuff. Melissa, what would you like to see? What would you like to see? The floor is yours. You tell us. Okay, we need to get VG up in here. What's his email address? Somebody... Jesus. All right, I'm going to his channel right now, guys. Don't worry, I'm settling this. Tristan, please entertain the audience. Start dancing or something. We're just going to have to do...
Hector donated one.
There's no way to message these people, is there? You have to... Huh. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to get to Vegan Gains here. I'm just sending my public email address, or will I totally regret this?
No, I wouldn't do that. Well, I mean, whatever. You can always make a new email.
No, I don't want to make a new email. This is like long standing.
I'm about to kill a mosquito. Hold on. Oh, it's a big one. Get it. You get it. It's on.
I don't even know what these. There we go. Wait. I'm messaging from. Okay, he said check Twitter.
Yeah, I did. Okay, that's what I was gonna say. He wants to do it on Skype, but I told him your Skype doesn't even work. Tell him the Skype situation. He probably thinks I'm lying.
No, it's definitely not. I'm definitely not lying.
Talk to both of us, Richard. Me and Drew are already talking over here. Let's have a chat. It'll be fun, man. Should we just? What if I send him this Hangout link? So if I do plus.
Yeah, if it works, but he can't see me. That's the only problem.
Oh, he won't be able to see you.
No.
Because your camera can only go to one thing at a time.
Correct.
Do you have that? What's that program called?
Don't know what your...
I just sent him the Hangouts link. Well, he can come on here and then we can see if he wants... I don't know if he wants to stream it on his channel, then we can end the stream and send everyone over there.
Yeah, I'm fine either way.
I just sent him a Hangouts link.
Cool.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. Elise meeting with Juve. Juve team refuses to fly to Ecuador to meet with me. They flatly refuse.
Ooh. Mama just donated $5.
Hey guys,
Sugar Mama.
Yes. We do hear you.
Okay.
I don't hear him.
Have an update?
I feel like we have to answer this. I'm not sure about the Hangouts, Richard, but what's something that your viewers would never guess about you?
Never guess. I don't know.
Yes, Richard. You can answer that first.
I don't know what my viewers would never guess about me. Maybe that might. I don't know. Let's see. I guess whenever I mention like I'm into hentai, people are like, "What the fuck?" So
Okay.
maybe
a
I
lot
just
of people
don't.
that are into gaming are into hentai though. It's not that.
Yeah.
surprising.
Well,
People probably don't know I'm into gaming.
Oh.
Yeah, I guess when most people are always weirded out that I'm into hentai, like I guess I just don't look like the type.
All right. Well, is everything all set up on your end over there?
Yep, I'm streaming this on my channel right now.
Cool. So you've called several times to well, actually today's the first time I've seen you in my chat, but today is the first time you've reached out directly for a chat. What would you like to chat about today?
Okay, well, you mentioned unethical veganism.
Yes.
I thought that sounded interesting. Tell me about that.
Okay, unethical veganism. This is a concept that I've coined, a phrase that I've coined. Basically, you have obviously ethical veganism, and what I describe it as is essentially, no matter how unethical your tactics are, as long as it's in the name of ethical veganism, they are acceptable and promoted by the rest of the ethical vegans.
Okay, so give me an example of that.
Let's say like breaking into somebody's private property and releasing animals as a first example, let's say. And going further than that, lying about what people do, slandering people online.
Okay, well, I don't. Okay,
calls.
so anything that involves dishonesty, so lying about somebody, slandering somebody, I'm totally against that.
Right.
Okay, but wouldn't you also say that you could say the same thing about like literally any kind of social group, like even among like the makeup community, like on YouTube, like that goes on?
Well, I would say that yes, I guess you could be right, but in the context of veganism specifically, because of the
So
ramifications.
I think what you're trying to say is because of like the moral high horse vegans are on, they kind of have.
Yes.
So sort of like
it
how
makes
Islam.
it okay.
Sort of that's sort of a thing in Islam too. I can't remember the exact word for it, but they're allowed to lie and cheat and stuff to promote Islam. So, same kind of thing that you're basically getting at.
Exactly what I'm saying. Great example, Richard.
Okay, so like the first thing here is I would point out that problem isn't exactly unique to veganism.
Mm-hmm.
Because again, like you can like people just do this. It's not even necessarily about even being on a moral high horse and doing the sort of thing, but I get the unique situation that vegans are in where they're doing this because of some sort of ideology. Now, I will say this, I totally disagree with any kind of vegan who's making up lies and, slandering somebody online, just saying things that are completely untrue in the name of veganism. I don't even think that sort of behavior is good for veganism because I don't think you can really base any kind of moral movement on a lie. So I'd be totally against that. And I don't think, I don't even know if you really have good evidence that most vegans are in favor of that.
I don't think that most vegans are in favor of it. I think that enough are in favor of it that it's definitely something that happens a lot. And it's one of those things that you turn the blind eye to when you know it's happening. Like you're not necessarily going to call the person out, but.
Well, I've done that with Durian Rider. I don't know if there have been any other circumstances.
Okay.
I can't really I know I have for a fact done that with Durian Rider where he was making slanderous accusations against Isel Mazard.
Right.
And I called him out for that. Now, Durian Rider wasn't really doing that for veganism though. He was doing that for himself. Okay. So I can't really recall any situation where I've called out somebody who was lying in the name of veganism. Just because I guess I've never encountered it personally or seen it personally, but I can definitely agree with you. Like, sure, that sort of thing does happen.
Hey, Richard, what about like people? I mean, you've seen a lot of these ex-vegans recently coming out and saying that they've been experimenting with animal foods on the side, having little little side play with animal foods, and they, for a period of time, were kind of lying about how they were feeling about a vegan diet because they felt like, ideologically they weren't quite ready to accept that they have changed their beliefs, and also they were afraid to let their audience know because of the backlash and stuff. I mean, would you say those people are lying in the name of veganism?
No. I'd say they're lying for the sake of just trying to avoid criticism. Now, that brings up another interesting point. Like, regardless of how they're lying, like, or for what reason they're lying, like, their testimonies are still kind of unreliable because for whatever reason they're lying. Even if you could say it's justified, they're still lying.
Yeah, but something that worries me about some vegan YouTubers is that, from talking to a lot of these people who've, found that veganism ended up not working out for them, or, maybe they did it wrong, maybe there was a reason why, but they, for whatever reason, they wanted to leave veganism. They found it was really hard, and they found it was really psychologically difficult because of their following. And
Sure.
like Jacko Wacko, you saw that video, I'm sure. I mean, he made a pretty honest video, and he talked about that, how the egotistical aspect of it was getting to him. He had celebrities following him on Instagram. He had a lot invested in it, and he was really afraid to come out and talk about it. And so I mean, he didn't make videos saying he was still vegan during the time, but he was conflicted. Do you think?
Well,
do you think a lot of people do that?
I'm sure a lot of people would be doing that. The thing is, though, with Jacko Wacko, I haven't really again, I'm not him. I haven't really experienced what he's been experiencing, but from what I've seen from the vegan YouTube community, no one's really going hard on him and saying, "Oh, you're a fucking selfish, lying asshole." It's like, I think everybody gets a sense that, oh, he's being honest about this.
Yeah.
I mean, the criticism that Raw Alignment and Raw Vanna have gotten, obviously way more harsh than Jacko Wacko. So I think that does show, again, the vegan community is being relatively reasonable here. Like, when people are just being honest and upfront about things, for the most part, people are being pretty reasonable. I mean, look at Vegan Foot Soldier's response. He usually goes really, really hard and criticizes people hard.
What did he say? I actually didn't catch it.
Oh, he was basically saying, Jacko Wacko, he seems like a pretty decent dude, and I'd probably get along with him, and it's, really disappointing that he's not vegan anymore. I'm paraphrasing here, obviously. But, Vegan Foot Soldier just made the point across that, I don't think he's a bad guy. He's just made a few mistakes here, and he just gave him some advice. So Vegan Foot Soldier, and again, he's a guy who rails on people pretty hard, like Tim Sheaf. But, in that circumstance, I think it's pretty obvious that Jacko Wacko was being honest. Now, some of the things he said, I disagree with. I think he's just wrong.
Hang on one second. So, Jacko Wacko, in terms of his, public persona, has been a pretty much, toxic person. Would you mostly agree to that?
I'm not too sure. I haven't really watched much of his content. I've seen, maybe one of his videos where he was making fun of ex-vegans. But I don't know about him being a toxic person. I'm just not familiar enough with his content. What has he said that's toxic?
Well, I mean, the fact that every single one of his videos is focusing around trashing an ex-vegan or making parodies around it, although in the name of humor, but it's also creating a certain community. And I'm not saying it necessarily affects anybody, but I think people like Foot Soldier who are also in that same vein, they're going to side with that, and they're going to give him the leeway because he makes similar content to somebody like Foot Soldier. You know what I mean?
I'm not totally, I don't know if I totally agree with that. I think it really has more to do with just Jacko Wacko just coming off as a genuine person.
Definitely in his coming out video, he definitely seems very genuine, and he's even fuck, I can't believe I'm the one making this video, and he makes several remarks to that, which is totally understandable. That's what you'd hope to see from a human being that's in that position, that is coming from that super sarcastic viewpoint, even his little dudes that are on the same level, you got the Vegan Revolution guy, you got Vegan Foot Soldier. These guys are in that same little alternate vegan hate bubble. I don't know what to call them. They're they've got like the masks on and stuff like that. They're like the vegan terrorist group essentially.
Jacko didn't have the mask.
Oh, wait,
Jacko was actually.
No, I know he didn't have the mask.
Just to be fair to him, he was a little bit more real than those guys who, they don't show their faces. They're afraid to, actually.
Like, who do you mean who doesn't show their face? Like, I know Foot Soldier doesn't. Who else?
There's some guy called
Vegan Revolution.
He's probably
okay. Well, I know he is toxic for sure. He had some beef with Isel Mazard where he made up crazy fucking lies about him. So, yeah, Vegan Revolution can definitely be toxic. I know that.
I don't know what happened with them, but Isel Mazard also has slandered a lot of people too. I mean,
he slandered me. He slandered some of my friends. He's fucking crazy.
Yeah, there seems like, I mean, I think YouTube in general attracts a lot of sociopaths and psychopaths, but then I think what happens here is they get their ideology, they're not even ideology, their fake personality, their front personality for YouTube gets so much reinforcement, and they're getting super chats, they're getting money, they're getting this bubble of fake fame. And I think
it's narcissists, really, not even psychopaths.
Ryder's the classic example. He knows he can always find some 19-year-old chick to brainwash into playing with his diddly and shaking her tits on camera, and he'll just cycle through these women, till he's whatever, till his dick doesn't work anymore. So I think that aspect of YouTube is kind of universal to all of YouTube. I mean, you see people making cults around ex-veganism as well. So that it is a universal thing. But I think what's interesting about Jacko Wacko was he talked about that. He talked about why it was so hard for him to leave the vegan ideology. He didn't want his son being on a vegan diet. He thought it might have been a dangerous experiment to put his kid on. He talked about this thing a lot, very honestly. And I think if you're honest and if you just throw it all out there, then there's really nothing anybody can say. They can just make up fake attacks. They can make up, straw mans and say you did it wrong, or you're a terrible person, or you were an alcoholic and this and that. But, in the end, it's if you're a real, genuine person. I think, Drew, you're an example of this as well, whereas like you've been pretty forthcoming. You've been pretty straightforward with everybody. You go on these streams for hours at a time, and you can't really hide when you're doing something like that. So I think it's hard to disarm somebody and totally discredit them when they're so forthcoming.
I mean, I even made that video I dropped yesterday or 2 days ago talking about the potential candida issues and the carnivore diet not healing that, so to speak. Like I like to preemptively disarm people if I can, so that they can't use that as ammunition in the future, because it's already stuff that I'm considering. Like that, there's nothing worse than thinking about saying something publicly and then somebody gets to it before you. Now you sound like this liar, It's the worst.
Right. So I want to go back to the thing you're saying before about Jacko Wacko being toxic. Like, so what exactly is toxic about like parodying somebody who you disagree with? Like, I mean, this happens all the time, like even in the entertainment industry, you know what I mean?
Right.
So what's unique about like Jacko Wacko parodying, like, I don't know, Raw Alignment or Raw Vanna or something? Like, I don't really.
There's nothing unique about it. I would just say that like that's the entire purpose of the channel, basically. Like there's no like forward movement of like health knowledge, and of course he's in his coming out video he even admitted that he's not really focused on like the health aspect of veganism, but then the health bit him. So
yeah.
I don't know.
I get that. I think that's a fair criticism. Health matters, but I mean, I wouldn't say it's toxic just parodying things.
Okay, that's fine. I can hear that, and of course I talk my fair share of shit too. But when, as far as I know, he never really like had any direct, like he never went on like a debate or a discussion to talk about this stuff. Like he's harassed Tim Sheaf quite a bit. And then now he's basically in the same position, but the damage is already done, right? Like he's made these videos. Tim Sheaf, one of the, I mean, people can say what they want about his flat earth shit, but he's one of the nicest, like dopest dudes ever. And he's taken like a tremendous amount of criticism simply because he decided not to be vegan anymore. And like,
I wouldn't say Tim Sheaf is a very nice person.
Okay. What, let's hear about this then.
Okay.
Well, I remember, Richard, you specifically said, I hate you, Tim Sheaf. And that's like I haven't heard you really go hard at somebody as hard as you went on Tim Sheaf.
Tim Sheaf was your go hard person. Okay. I need to hear about this.
Yeah,
Okay,
don't do
I actually deleted the videos from my channel because I guess by today's standards, they violate the guidelines. But for one thing, what really got on my nerves with Tim Sheaf was that he's a flat earther.
Okay.
So right off the bat there, at best, he has no ability to just take an objective look at information, use any kind of critical thinking. And at worst, he's just dishonest and he wants to fabricate a world that works for him. And based on what I've seen with just his behavior, it seems like that's the case, that he wants to fabricate a world that just fits his worldview. And I've seen other flat earthers. I actually have a friend personally who's a flat earther, and he did this, where he just wants the earth to be flat so that he literally doesn't have to work hard, get a job, because he thinks God created earth and everything, and that's all that really matters, just being close to God. So that's what it seems like Tim Sheaf is doing here too, where he just wants to create a world where he doesn't have to be vegan anymore because that it's not the ethical thing to do, it's not the healthy thing to do. So he's just creating this new world that works for him, so he doesn't really have to do much.
Well, somebody could levy the same argument against veganism, though. You could just say you're inventing this fantasy ethic, this fantasy world where humans are not allowed to eat animals, and it's ethically wrong and it's terrible.
Okay, well, I could say that I could say that against pedophilia, against genocide, against murder.
I mean, you can't, in your worldview, you can't say anything is wrong at all because you think it's all relative. There's moral relativism. No. There's no.
Okay, well, no, saying that morals aren't objective, that's not moral relativism.
Yes, it is.
No, it
that's
isn't.
the definition of moral relativism.
No, it isn't. Let me actually look that up. Moral relativism. So I haven't really dealt with that.
What about this?
If you believe morality is subjective, and you believe that it is not objective, then how can you make any moral claims about anything?
Well, that's because you don't have to have an objective sense of morality to have your own moral standards.
So why should everybody accept your moral standards?
Well, because I think fundamentally, most people agree on some basic moral standards. And I think, so it's wrong to murder another person for no reason. It's wrong to steal. I've talked about this a bit with my
not wrong to eat animals for no reason.
Why do we agree? Why do we agree on these things?
No, so why do we agree? So I think morality is a concept that's created due to survival necessity. If you look at the behavior of any social animal, they do have a concept of morality, and it's pretty much based upon empathy. Any social creature has an ability to understand that something bad can happen to another creature, and they wouldn't want that to happen.
How do we know that something's bad? How do we know it's not good? Because sometimes it's good for your survival to kill somebody and take their goods and take their women.
Yeah. Well, again, it's a survival concept, right? So,
I mean, if we're gonna say that it's just pure survival, then whoever kills everybody else is the winner.
Well, no, because there is a survival benefit to living in a social group. So anything that's any pro-social behavior is generally seen as moral. And again, we are tribal, most creatures basically are tribal. There's different wolf packs that compete with each other. There's different tribes of humans that compete with each other. But we create these social groups because basically it's a survival advantage. And a lot of what we consider moral, it's just pro-social behavior. So it's wrong to murder, it's wrong to steal, it's wrong to cheat because, all those things are an antisocial behavior.
I have a question about what you think about this. Let's say hypothetically that veganism was messing with Tim Sheaf's ability to reason. And now that he goes meat-based, he comes to his senses and he's like, fuck, that didn't make any goddamn sense. I can't believe I was a flat earther.
Okay,
and then
well,
he comes to his senses.
There's not.
I don't know that that's the case, but
yeah.
I mean, well, we could say, well, Vegan Gains is a vegan. He's obviously discredited. He believes in something ridiculous that most people think is absolutely absurd. And I would say that. I'm saying, so to say he's a flat earther, therefore nothing he says is legit. I don't know. I mean, it's just kind of, we could cherry pick.
Okay, well, no, that's totally different. So you're comparing something that can be scientifically proven to something that's just basically a moral belief.
Richard, you definitely agree that the science these days is finicky, even on both sides.
Okay,
you gotta admit that.
So is the Earth round or flat?
Okay, the Earth is round. Let's not talk about flat Earth. This is a total waste
Okay,
of
so
time.
then my assessment of Tim Sheaf either having no ability to like basically
In the context of
analyze-
flat Earth, as much as I love Tim Sheaf, I publicly disagree with that statement. Can we move on though?
Yeah, okay, so
90% of people. I mean, we're not talking about just the vegan echo chamber and YouTube. Well, 90% of people believe veganism is absolutely ridiculous. So we could just say, oh,
I wouldn't say. Okay, where are you getting that statistic from?
Damn it.
Okay,
we
well,
were
look-
duped. We were trapped.
No,
Richard,
you understand because
Richard, you win.
It's less than 4% of the actual population of the world is vegan, or the less.
Okay,
than
well, look.
I'm calling Bart K. Hold
Well,
on. I'm
look,
on the phone.
what? In North America, in North America at this very moment, like I think the highest statistic is 6% of people are vegan. Look how much
94% of people don't believe that veganism is true.
Well, no, that's not
veganism is
necessarily
discredited.
true. That's
You
not
can't just
necessarily
feel
true. They're just not
because
living
the
a
majority of
vegan
people
lifestyle.
believe something doesn't make it true.
Okay, well, look, if you look at Richard Dawkins' interviews, he totally agrees with the ethical principles of veganism. He says he should be vegetarian. I think he just says he should be vegetarian because he doesn't.
Dawkins also believes that we should get rid of the taboo of cannibalism. Richard Dawkins believes in all sorts of nonsense shit. Richard Dawkins.
No. Look. The point is, there are people who aren't vegan who agree with the ideology. Like, I mean, the Beyond Burger wouldn't be selling out at A&W and all these other restaurants.
The Beyond Burger is selling out because people are socially engineered into accepting this.
Whoa. Hang on. Richard, I'm gonna need some stats on that. Wait. Where is Beyond Meat selling out? Because I swear to you, I have been to the store like through Hawaii, throughout California. The Beyond Meat is sitting on the shelves, and everything around it is completely barren.
He's reading PR releases from CNBC because the investors are so heavily pushing this and this massive propaganda push to get us.
Okay, well, listen. Beyond Meat, they didn't actually.
Beyond Burger is healthy.
So listen to me. Beyond Meat, they didn't have enough supply to ship to Canada for a very long time because they were in fact selling out in the United States. No, listen. They were selling out in the United States.
Dude,
after they got the huge investment from Bill Gates, they were able to expand, and now they've just increased their supply.
Tyson Foods is investing in it. Do you think they're vegan?
Sorry?
Tyson Foods is one of the biggest investors in Beyond Inc. Are they vegan?
No, and I think that shows you that, there's enough of a trend towards plant-based dieting. There's enough of a trend towards plant-based dieting that these non-vegan companies are getting in on it.
You understand how trends work, right? It's not like people naturally are begging for Britney Spears. You think that it's the trends work because it gets pumped out in television, it gets pumped out in mass media, and people get told what to buy, what they want, what's cool, what's hip. You think Beyonce and Jay-Z are just doing it for the hits? You don't think you think Beyonce and Jay-Z are vegan?
Okay, I think this is getting a little off topic. So we were discussing.
It's right, man. You understand how pop culture works. People like pop music because it's good and because it's true. No, people like pop music because it's pumped in their fucking face all day.
Okay, no, we were okay. So we were discussing. So I think we were going along the lines of discussing Tim Sheaf and whether or not their ideas are ridiculous and whether or not a vegan ideology is ridiculous. The thing is,
it's not ridiculous because there's science to back it right now, and people can't determine what's good and what's bad science.
People have no idea what's good and what's bad in general.
Okay, so why don't you tell me what's bad about the vegan diet?
Tell us what's good about it.
Okay, well, it clearly reduces risk of all-cause mortality, heart disease, diabetes,
compared to standard American diet.
Yeah, compared to it. Well, no, actually, not compared to a standard American diet. Compared to a diet that's healthier than the standard American diet, the Adventist diet.
The vegan diet has been shown to be healthier than the Adventist diet.
No, listen. So basically, in the Adventist cohorts, they weren't just comparing Adventists to the standard, Western population. They were comparing Adventist vegans to Adventist non-vegans. So meat eaters. There are even though it is in their religion to not eat meat, there are still Adventists who eat meat. So the Adventists who aren't even who do live so basically they eat more fruits, vegetables than their average American. They tend to have lower rates of obesity, all that. That's basically what the Adventist cohort showed, that even among meat eaters who are pretty healthy, vegans still had better health outcomes.
I'm willing to accept all of this data as it was collected because honestly, I just don't put much faith in it. Of course, we can go into the questionnaires and the how many cups of broccoli or whatever. But what I am mostly interested in is how are you doing on the vegan diet? That's honestly what I want to know. Like, how do you feel? How's your strength compared to meat? I have made the comment before, and this is an honest criticism in my opinion, is I've called you out for having the original avatar on your channel from like 5+ years ago when you first went vegan and or were
No,
not
that
even
wasn't
vegan
actually
yet.
when I first went vegan. That was, I think, 4 years after I went vegan.
Well, how long have you been vegan?
9 years.
9 years. Okay, so you took that 4 years into veganism.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's pretty good in my opinion. That's good results, obviously. Like,
By
how
the way,
do
I've
you?
actually gotten bigger since then.
I know. I saw
it's
the ½ inch of muscle in quotations on your biceps in 2 weeks. I saw the
well,
video.
well, like I can just lift more and everything. It's just that I have to lean down to basically get in the same like shredded abs and everything. But I have actually gotten more muscle mass, more strength since then.
I saw that you were benching about 285, right, for reps?
Yeah, I was doing that.
So what are you doing to be able to do this? And again, there's a lot of people who have the same issue that I had, which is basically we just cannot gain fucking muscle past a certain point. Like, we either reach physical limitations with our stomach volume capacity, or we have horrible digestion along the way, or like our system just cannot handle it. Other things happen. We gain way too much fat to muscle in terms of the relative ratio. Like, what are you doing to make yourself successful, do you think?
Okay, so for one thing, this is a huge misconception that it's really common. A lot of people think diet is mainly responsible for muscle growth. It's the exact opposite. So when a lot of people basically stall in training, they're just not growing anymore. They're like, oh, I must have to eat more protein. It's actually not the case. It's almost always training that's the limiting factor. So if you end up stalling in training where you can't grow any more muscle mass, in almost every circumstance, you're just not training with enough volume. Sometimes it's not enough intensity, but generally speaking, most people are lifting with weights that are at least 60% of your 1 rep max. That's the minimum intensity needed for hypertrophy.
But what about like, I mean, I'm not a gym dummy though. Like, I've definitely put on a lot of muscle mass back in the meat days, and I know how it feels to be like properly proteined up.
Right.
And when I was eating 120, 130 grams of protein a day as a vegan, even higher than that sometimes, I simply did not have the same type of like oomph in my strength. Like, where I describe the failure point is like those last few reps, like those last few money reps that you can grind through. Like I literally would hit a wall where I just couldn't get those in. And I definitely attributed that to the fact of like what I was eating, even though I was eating quite a high amount of protein. And
okay, so how much do you weigh?
Right now, 145.
Okay, and you were getting almost a pound of protein per pound, or sorry, a gram of protein per pound of body weight.
Back then, yes, and I do want to clarify, I was actually gaining weight, so I was gaining fat in like much higher proportion than muscle mass, and I was doing the same workouts as I'm basically doing right now, but I'm like significantly leaner and stronger right now.
Okay, were you training every single set to failure?
I would call it like a light failure because I was doing a full body workout approach.
Okay. So what was your overload strategy? Like, so you were
just
benching
more reps. I was doing only calisthenics. So like I'm trying to,
okay.
Let's say doing like ring pull-ups, I could do like, when I first started, I could only do like 5 or 6. And then obviously it got to like 8, 9 or 10, but then like I basically just stalled out there. So like, that's when I hear about like, okay, you didn't overload hard enough, but like how much harder can you overload when you hit 10 reps? And like that last 10th rep is very difficult every time you step up to the rings for literally months and you cannot put a rep on.
Okay, well there's different strategies. You could increase the amount of sets you're doing. You can it's very easy to just add total weekly volume. So like say you were doing pull-ups like 3 days a week. You could do it 5 days a week or every day per week. And you can just increase the amount of sets you're doing per session. So if you're doing like 5 sets of pull-ups, then you can like work up to 10 or 15 sets of pull-ups. This is usually an issue that a lot of people run into where they think because they're spending a lot of time in the gym, like they just should grow muscle. Some people just need a lot of fucking sets, dude. And especially women. Women actually need to do a lot more volume than men to achieve maximum like growth out of their muscles.
Calling you a girl.
Sorry?
He's calling you a girl, Drew.
Well,
yes.
I know, I hear you, but I do want to say that like I'm basically following the exact same routine. I'm eating only 2 meals a day now. All animal foods, well, mostly animal foods, 90% I'd say. And I am actually progressing now as compared to before, where I was just gaining a bunch of fat and I wasn't really getting much stronger. Like I couldn't add reps, but now I can. And it's
it was hard to maintain a surplus as well in the diet before.
Well, yeah, I felt like shit just from flat out like stomach volume and.
Okay, so how many calories were you eating before compared to now?
I was definitely eating over 2,800 a day as a minimum, like 2,800 to 3,200 as a vegan, and I was putting on weight. I want to be clear about that. With terrible digestion, I want to also add that. But now it's more like, like right now I'm kind of like in a cutting phase or sort of like a body maintenance phase at about 22 to 2,500 calories a day.
Okay, so it just sounds like you had digestive issues, and that was basically inhibiting your progress.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
This isn't a very well-researched area. I've looked at a few sports journals about this. There's like debate about protein quality, like absorption rates and shit like that. Plant protein is generally seen as a lower quality source of protein because the argument is it doesn't absorb as well, so therefore you're not going to gain as much muscle eating the same amount of protein.
Right, you have to eat like more, basically.
Well, yeah, that's some of the theory behind it, but the thing is, if you look at randomized trials, when you compare soy protein powder, pea protein, rice protein, there's literally no difference between that and whey. Now, that's protein supplements. So as far as I know, there's no research on actual food. But as far as protein powder, it looks like plant protein is absolutely identical compared to animal sources of protein like whey when it comes to increases in muscle mass and just changes in overall body composition. I'm
willing to accept that, but like, what are you eating right now? How much protein?
What am I eating right now? Okay, so I'm getting about 180 grams of protein per day. I'm eating tofu, TVP, and oatmeal, and I have a little bit of pea protein. I have 30 grams of pea protein per day, which is about 20 or 25 grams of protein, so it's not all that much added. And I also eat lentils, so TVP.
How's your digestion with lentils?
Really good. I've never had any digestive issues with lentils. I have had digestive issues with protein powders, though. Rice protein, for whatever reason, doesn't really agree with me, but pea protein is fine. I also get digestive issues when I just have protein on its own, so I just mix it in water. Then I start farting and shit. But if I mix it into like actual food like oatmeal or smoothie, I'm all good. So like Drew, I would say like I don't think you're lying when like you're saying I had digestive issues, and I think those digestive issues likely had an issue, like gave you an issue with like protein utilization basically.
Okay.
But I will say like there is some research again showing if you look at nitrogen balance data, again there doesn't seem to be a difference between plant and animal protein. But like again, that might be under ideal conditions where somebody isn't having digestive issues.
Right.
So you probably had some sort of digestive problem. I don't know what it really was. It could be a number of things like candida, SIBO, maybe just the types of protein you're eating. Like you want to eat a low FODMAP diet or something like that. So I'd say like I think you could be successful as a vegan. It's just that you do have to work out your digestive issues. Like there's every indication to me that
I have a lightweight plan that if I get to the bottom of this, because I think it's candida related with my gut. So I feel like if I do iron this out, I would be, just for my own curiosity, again, not from the ethical standpoint, to see if I could handle a large volume of plants and make gains from it. I want to be clear, I did make some gains as a vegan. I did look okay. I just was really light at the time. And this brings me to my next question for you is, if you were to truly do a whole foods plant-based diet, do you think you could make any fucking gains?
Okay,
and I'm
so
talking
no
protein powder.
Oh,
no,
yeah, absolutely.
And I would even almost allow tofu into the whole foods plant-based, although if we're being technical about it, we can both agree that that's not really whole food.
Yeah, no, not technically. Like, I mean, what about tempeh?
I guess.
Like
I mean, what is that?
minimally,
Beans
like,
and fermented stuff around it?
It's like basically it's just fermented soybeans. Like it's not really processed either. Like you can actually see the shape of the beans in the tempeh.
Yeah. Evan Rock used to make that stuff all the time. I would say sure. I would say sure. You can include tofu and tempeh.
Yeah, absolutely. It would be no problem. I don't actually take protein powder when I'm at caloric maintenance. I'm dieting right now.
Okay.
So
yeah, I
that's
noticed you've
why
been
I'm
getting
just-
leaner. Actually, you were super puffy for a while there.
Yeah. Like I got depressed again. I was eating junk food, and like I gained more weight than I wanted to. But I've lost 20 pounds in I think a month. So, and and during that time,
I got a question about your diet as well.
Sure.
Talking about digestive issues, you know, Drew had digestive issues when he was trying to gain some weight on vegan or even maintain weight. And I know you've been kind of open in some of your streams about digestive issues, talking about, and even one of your videos, you talked about like having even blood coming out.
Yeah.
What's going on with that lately? How's that been?
Oh, good. So I was farting quite a bit for a while, and it turned out it was a protein supplement I was taking. After stopping the protein supplement, it reduced a lot, but I was still farting a fair bit. And I found out it was actually because I just wasn't eating a balanced enough macronutrient ratio. I wasn't eating enough healthy plant fats, basically poly and monounsaturated fats. And I discovered this because I put a bit of olive oil like on some of my food, just because I was like, whatever, I like the taste. And I was just craving olive oil for whatever reason. And after I took the olive oil, I actually just almost completely stopped farting. And even when I did fart, my farts didn't like stink like they used to.
They didn't have that hot carby stink to them.
Yeah, like Jasmine says it was like sewage. So I don't know, but yeah. So basically, these plant fats, these poly and monounsaturated fats, they have antimicrobial properties. So they can kill off some of the bad bacteria that's causing some of this farting, and they're just good. Like eating some of these fats is just good for your digestion in general. It can help absorption. Certain vitamins and minerals. So
someone says you've been burping all the time. What's up with that?
Oh, well, it's just because I drink during my streams. Like, if I take a swig of water and then I'll like burp.
Okay.
You know what's funny? Someone in your chat said Primal Edge wasn't talking about vegans. What would you do for a living? I don't think you people realize that actually my income has decreased since I started talking about veganism. Like so much. If I wanted to make money, I would just promote keto. I would just go out there and promote keto. But I'm about what's true. So, I talk about what I want to talk about. I'm not about making money. In fact, I actually have skills I can use in the real world to get income in other ways. So it's not just about that for me, guys. Sorry.
What other questions would be interesting here? Because this is the type of shit that I want to get into, is like talking about real life performance, talk about the people you've seen around you, like how their digestive system is doing. How's your wife?
Because there's a lot of vegans that complain about the digestive issues.
I've had clients. So I was doing online coaching for a while, and I've had a fair number of clients that have had digestive issues.
All right.
And I helped a few of them. So there was one dude who was basically trying the 1 meal a day thing. I got him to, like, he wanted to gain weight, so I changed it so his feeding window went from 2 hours to 4 hours. That was the one adjustment I made. He was also having issues with gas and bloating and shit. And I just put him onto a low FODMAP diet. So it's a acronym. It stands for like oligosaccharides, polysaccharides, something like that. You can just look it up. But
it's just like a restricted diet, right?
Yeah, and it's not really all that restrictive. It doesn't really cut out that many foods. Like you can still eat fruits, certain legumes like tofu, tempeh, still fine. Like you can have pineapples and shit. So basically,
I've read the low FODMAP diet, and by the way, like half the stuff on that list totally would fuck my gut up.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, so I'm that's for me,
Yeah. So like, and so I switched that, like, his diet up to a low FODMAP diet that like totally fixed his digestive issues. There are a few other people where it just seems like it was only a problem with low stomach acidity. So if you don't like break down your food enough in your stomach, a lot of those like plant compounds, they're kind of irritating in your small intestine, and that can cause shit like diarrhea, bloating, crap like that. So I just had them drink like just a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar like 15-20 minutes before they eat. Totally fixed everything. So not all of these quick fixes work for everybody. And I'd say for those people, like it's probably some other problem, like candida, SIBO, or some sort of issue like that.
Do you ever foresee an issue getting too bad to where you can't remedy it on your own, to where you would start considering animal foods?
No. The reason being is there's no evidence I've seen that there's some sort of healing property to eating animal foods. So if I had some sort of health problem, some sort of digestive issue, like I just know that, eating eggs wouldn't be some sort of miracle cure.
Interesting. Okay.
It's funny because it seems so many of these ex-vegans, they start eating animal foods again, and all their symptoms improve on multiple levels, including depression, anxiety.
Well, sure. But take a look at Raw Vanna. She went to a gastroenterologist, turned out she had SIBO. And rather than just doing what the gastroenterologist recommended, both the vegan and non-vegan gastroenterologist take antibiotics. She's like, no, I want to do things the natural way. And look, going on, a more meat-based diet, it can improve the symptoms of something like SIBO or candida, where you don't get these weird digestive problems like diarrhea, gas, bloating, because you don't have some of those plant irritants that aren't being broken down properly. But that doesn't actually cure the problem. And Vegetable Police is a perfect example of that. His digestion has gotten worse and worse and worse since going on a carnivore diet. And it's just because he hasn't addressed the actual issue. It's like either.
And I think I agree with you. I'm in the same boat.
Omnivorous diet, isn't he? I don't think he's on a carnivore diet, is he?
No, he was following a carnivore diet, and then he said he felt so depressed and dead inside that he had to add in some carbohydrates. I think now he's adding ketchup or something.
I feel like though that basically digestion is the boon of both sides' arguments right now. Since we don't exactly know how to fix it reliably and consistency either way, it's the vegans just say, okay, you had bad digestion, that's why you couldn't absorb anything. But let's say in theory, and this is almost why I'm extra motivated to fix my digestion the right way, is I want to fix it so that I have no issues reacting to potatoes and lentils and things like that used to just completely smash me. And then I almost want to go run it back on the vegan diet just to prove that it still didn't work for me. I know that sounds messed up, but it seems like there's still going to be people who are going to fail on the vegan diet no matter what, even if they have good digestion. I know of people who have good digestion that are still not doing hot on the vegan diet. They just basically last longer than other people. Evan Rock is a good example of that.
They point to the anecdotes like Tim Sheaf. They point to Vegetable Police. They point to certain extreme examples, but there are thousands of other people just in the comment sections of all these videos too. Or there's anecdote, it's anecdote. But I mean, your own personal N=1, your own personal situation, what's going on. If you add back in animal foods, you stop eating the processed plant food crap, you feel better on every level. Then do I need a freaking study to tell me that my life has improved and I'm not, shitting 16 times in the toilet? Like Jacko Wacko, he was shitting, what did he say, 16 times a day or something?
Yeah, he had to wake up at 6 a.m. and run to the toilet. IBS.
Started eating animal foods and that stopped. So, I mean.
So, look, I will say this. Your own personal anecdote can be extraordinarily convincing. I mean, if you experience something personally, it does appear to be truth to you. But at the same time, your own perceptions of things can be wrong.
Take your own perception of. people are looking at quality of life. Quality of life is improving by adding that.
Listen to me. You've got somebody like Bobby's perspective. He's saying he felt like absolute shit, horrible depression on a vegan diet. Then when he switched to eating meat, he felt great. Well, if you look at his older videos, I think it's pretty obvious that he suffered from a body image disorder and maybe an eating disorder. Because the photos he's using now to show how sick he was on a vegan diet, he was using those same photos to show, look how healthy and awesome and in shape I am on a vegan diet. And he looked horrible. He looked like a fucking anorexic.
Well,
I don't know what.
Look at Durian. I mean, a lot of people do the same thing. They swear they feel amazing.
Oh, totally.
So good. It's like, dude, your mom's worried about you. Fucking eat some meat. You look like shit. I mean, a lot of these people. I mean, you obviously you're doing pretty well. It seems 9 years. You said. Although someone was trying to claim that you're lying about 9 years. I don't know.
No, I started when I was 19 and I'm turning 28 now.
Okay. So there you go. Whoever in the chat said he was lying.
Yeah, I don't think you're lying. I just think that some people are. I think it's more. You're more of an outlier if you can make it work long term than an outlier if you can't make it work long term.
Yeah,
that's
why
my point.
Of vegans and vegetarians go back to meat.
Okay, I don't know if that's the reason. I'd actually like to see real data on that. But like, I mean, there's a lot of cultural reasons why somebody would go back to eating meat or go back to eating animal products. Like a lot of people don't even go vegan, for the right reasons. Like people might just go on the diet for a while to just look better, feel better or something, and then once they feel better, they just go back to their normal diet.
What's the right reason to go vegan? For the animals?
Yeah, I'd say that's the best reason. But health does absolutely matter. I think, Drew makes a good point that, Jacko, he only cared about the ethics. And then, he ate garbage and then, he couldn't keep doing it. And then he went back to eating animal products. So they both matter for sure.
I think that's what keeps people vegan, though, because I think you have to be more so enveloped in the ethical aspect. Otherwise, when you start hitting those hard walls of health along the way, which are, in my opinion, inevitable, you will consider animal foods, and when you get the taste of the animal foods, like how easy they are to deal with, then you're sold immediately.
Yeah, there's a reason that they're the most easily digestible and assimilable foods.
Okay, well, wait a second. Why is it inevitable that you'll have health issues on a vegan diet?
Like, let's say theoretically that you're gonna have. Let's say theoretically you have issues that aren't even as a result of the vegan diet. Let's say you get like salmonella or something crazy like 5 years in. By the way, I had salmonella in Hawaii. But like I could blame that on the vegan diet, let's say, even though I don't believe that was a fault of the vegan diet. But let's say after that, I was just like, I lost 15 pounds, like I was dying. I just felt like I needed to get some food in me. And I felt like vegan food wasn't satiating enough. This is all hypothetical. This didn't actually happen. But I'm just saying, like, you could encounter some serious health issue along the way, unrelated to veganism, that would lead you back to animal foods. And the animal foods, like, in almost every case, will work for you. Guaranteed. You see what I'm saying?
Okay, so in this hypothetical scenario, you don't actually need animal foods to get better. You're just talking about like a psychological benefit, like they're just more satiating.
Yeah, I guess so. Or like,
well, then
something like that.
Well, the brain and the gut are intimately connected through the vagus nerve. I mean, we know
you just admitted then that you don't need animal products.
Improved digestion is going to result in improved mental health.
Did you say that I admitted I didn't need animal products?
No. What I'm saying is I don't see an argument here for, your position that eventually, like, veganism leads to health issues.
Oh, okay, I do think that, but that's not what my example was about. My example was more hypothetical, like, if for whatever reason you came across that you tried animal foods along the way based on some health concern, like, you would find that animal foods do work well for you. Like, when the reason I'm bringing this up is a couple of years into veganism, I thought that I had an issue digesting meat the whole time.
Okay.
But I never had an issue digesting meat. Because
there are some people who have issues digesting meat, by the way.
I have not heard. Well, okay, I can't say that, but I see most people who are eating a primarily animal foods diet, let's say like eggs and beef as a basic. Like, I haven't heard of one person that has issues with that.
Sometimes, so there was an area in, I think Japan, actually, it might have been Okinawa, where they actually believed that if you ate too much meat, it can cause diarrhea. Okay. So some of these are kind of like, some of these issues are pervasive enough in some societies that these ideas do perpetuate, where like meat is associated with digestive problems.
All right.
So clearly there are some people who have issues digesting meat, and there are actually meat allergies, by the way. There's that tick that transfers that virus that makes you allergic to meat.
That would suck. Well, like,
I was actually thinking of trying to make a weaponized version of that, where you just gas a whole city and everybody becomes allergic to meat.
Then they just die because they can't digest plant fibers.
Well, no, they wouldn't be able to digest them.
In the vegan worldview, that's good because humans are bad, right? Humans are the overpopulated, and humans are bad, and they're scourge. This is the thing that a lot of people go back to. I mean, you see a lot of these the people in the comment section talking about, oh, the world's overpopulated anyways. Let the meat eaters die. There definitely is that aspect to the vegan movement. Wouldn't you admit that there's a huge anti-human, anti-natalist aspect to a lot of vegans' ideology?
You could say the same thing about atheists, far left-wing liberals.
Absolutely, that's what veganism is. It's a far left-wing liberal movement.
it's not. No,
It's a
there are
SJW
literal
for
Nazi
the animals,
vegans.
man. Social
There are
justice
literal
for
Nazi
the animals.
vegans. No, there are literal Nazi vegans. Veganism doesn't have anything to do with any kind of political ideology.
So
veganism is highly politicized right now. Wait, to say
No, it's not. No. So look, it's
why is
not a
Bill
left
Gates
wing or right wing
investing-
issue.
Why is Bill Gates pushing the Beyond Burger? Why do you have some of the biggest foundations? You know, why
Promoting vegetarianism for a long time.
What is that?
And it's for environmental reasons. And I think
Exactly.
it might also.
And the environmental movement is absolutely politicized. It's not about environmentalism. It's about
How is so? Wait. What makes veganism a left wing issue? What is it about it that makes
it's social justice for the animals? You guys talk about it all the time. It's social.
agree.
justice.
Okay, wait. Okay, so if we were talking about ending child abuse, is that a left wing issue because it's social justice for children?
No, but you can look at the vegan marches. You look at like a bunch of chicks with purple hair marching around talking about save the animals. There are websites that say if you are a feminist and you're not vegan, you're not really a feminist. There's the huge intersectionality to all these little social justice movements, and they're all funded by the same big foundations.
Okay, well, Tristan, I asked you, what is it about veganism that makes it left wing? All you're saying is there's a lot of left wingers.
It's a part of this multi-headed hydra that's actually being pushed by these same big foundations that are pushing feminism. The same big foundations,
that's fine.
same corporations that are pushing these things, the Fortune 100 corporations that are pushing.
Well, Tristan, even if I agree with you, okay, fine, let's agree on that. What is it about veganism that's a left-wing issue? All you're saying is that left-wingers are pushing veganism. That doesn't actually make veganism a left-wing issue.
Sometimes people try and find an argument.
They get hijacked for political purposes. So these movements just get shuttled along using a few, you can use a few $1 million and actually move around any one of these movements you want. Right?
No, Tristan, I asked you, what is it about veganism that makes it a left-wing issue? You're just saying that left-wingers believe in veganism.
There's vegan and feminist websites all over the place.
Okay, well,
if you're a feminist and you're not vegan, you're not really feminist.
Okay, well, Tristan, I asked you, what is it about veganism
You're
that
gonna
makes
do
it a
the thing where you
left-wing
ask
issue?
the same question.
And
over
by
and
the
over?
way, no, Tristan, by the way, there is actually a lot of feminists who are opposed to veganism, and they talk about it as like this white male domination thing.
Look,
They
in
actually
general-
there are literal Vice articles. There are literal Vice articles about veganism where feminists are saying that veganism is a white male domination attempt. They're equating it to colonialism,
Feminists
where
they're gonna laugh
equating it to colonialism. So no, this isn't like Tristan. This isn't like what you're saying. Just plain isn't true. Veganism
No,
isn't
it's
a left-wing
absolutely
movement.
true. It's absolutely true that veganism is this left-wing movement and is being pushed by the same foundations that funded third wave feminism. Same thing. It's part of the same movement. It's part of this global movement to consolidate resources. At the ideological ground level, they're just useful idiots. The feminists are useful idiots as well. At the ground level, most people have no idea what they're really pushing. But why do you think Tyson Foods? Why do you think Bill Gates? Why do you think the Rockefeller Foundation are pushing these types of movements?
Okay, well, look, I could say that technology is a far left-wing social ideology, like technology itself.
You
Because
could say
if you look at
sense,
so
but
is
it's
technology
progressive.
itself a far left-wing social movement?
It's a good point.
Because
we can move on. You can say whatever you want.
Yeah, we
as a
can move on. We can move on here.
yeah, I think we might as well move
say
on.
whatever you want as a far left wing movement, but it's you could say anything.
Okay, well, I know literal vegan Nazis, like literal Nazis, people who support Hitler and think the Jews should have died in the Holocaust, who are vegan.
Well,
Okay,
actually,
let's talk a little shit on John Rose here, guys. Come on, let's switch it up.
I'm not even talking about
Rose,
John
let's talk
Rose,
John
actually.
Rose. What's up
No,
with John?
I mean,
Rose?
I'm down. I'm down for this topic. That was serious, but
We can talk about John Rose. I wasn't talking about John Rose, by the way. I don't think he has the position that Jews should have been killed in the Holocaust, but he is a Holocaust denier.
strong assumption on somebody's part. You know,
No,
they
well,
have to
he-
be
he's
sure
a
about that.
Holocaust denier.
He is.
So
He is. He
therefore,
is.
all vegans are Nazis.
I don't know about that.
All right, so let's.
Both Nazism and Bolshevism, actually, the root of them is liberalism. So actually, true liberalism, Nazism, Bolshevism, they're actually part of the same liberal movements, post-Enlightenment philosophy, if you actually get down to the nitty-gritty of it. But that's,
Rich, are people who are ex-vegans bad people? That's what I want to know. What do you think?
No, not necessarily. It depends.
Do you
I'd say
think that?
Tim Shaffer. a bad person.
Okay, we're going to disagree on that, and I'm going to provide you with zero evidence contrary to it. Number 2, do you think that, like, how many people do you think can handle the vegan diet long term, and how many can't? What's your number?
Oh well, I think everyone can. There's
okay.
So look, provided that we're not like including I don't know, like resource management issues where we're talking about like primitive tribes people out in the middle of nowhere.
No.
But
all the Beyond Meat is that you can dream of is available.
yeah, so like I'd say everyone can. I haven't seen a single like unique medical issue or disease that has some strange property where you could never eat plants again.
Interesting.
Or live only off of plants.
So I've got
there's always some sort of workaround.
A workaround, okay. Well, I've got a buddy who actually he basically becomes allergic to any fruit that he consumes long term. So like one of the last ones was bananas.
Okay.
So like even something as simple as bananas, it might not cause any issues short term, but like even over the long term, and that's just for him. Maybe other people can eat bananas in crazy quantities for their whole life, but like, isn't it weird that we all seem to be having some sort of weird reaction to these plants long term? Like, it's happening.
What do you mean we all are having reactions to plants long term?
I mean, you just said like you said kind of recently that you were having like blood in your stool, and you said there was a macronutrient ratio.
So I didn't have blood in my stool because of something I ate. It was actually because I was taking probiotics, and apparently if you take too high of a dose of probiotics, that can actually damage your intestinal wall.
Why were you taking probiotics?
Well, because I was having depression at the time, and a few people I was talking to said probiotics can help with depression. So like a lot of the feel-good chemicals that you have, they're created in the gut. So if you improve the amount of good bacteria in your gut, that can increase serotonin production and shit. So I was just seeing if probiotic supplementation would help, but
All right, so let's say pure anecdotal, you decide to run a 30-day animal foods experiment, and you find that your depression lifts, you feel sharper, and any other, nothing gets worse. Let's just say that. But those two things improve for you. Like, what would you say at that point?
What would I say? Okay, well, then there's something deficient in my diet before.
And what if you cannot get it from plants? Like, what if it's literally impossible? What's that?
Name the nutrient.
See, the name the nutrient thing, it doesn't matter. Like, we don't even know what all the nutrients are possible in the food in the first place. No, we don't.
We absolutely do.
We absolutely do not. We don't know everything that's in a fucking banana.
Yeah,
every single little thing. No, we only know what we have discovered
Writer
so far.
says that everything you need is in a banana. It's the most magical food.
We have mass spectrometers. We know every single compound that's in a banana.
And we know how they all work in combination with each other based on the hormones that are produced by this, based on the time of day that we eat it.
Like, is this like the new name the trait game? Name the nutrient?
Drew, the point is you're saying that there's a particular nutrient in meat that you wouldn't be getting from animal product or from plants. Well, name the nutrient.
I'm not saying it's a nutrient. I'm not saying it's a nutrient.
Vitamin B12.
Curveball,
okay, well, then it's like a chloro macronutrient thing.
No, it could be a hormonal thing. It could be like the fat to protein amount that you're getting is doing something to your brain that is helping you out, or like the amount or the type or the bioavailability of omega-3s in eggs is doing something to your brain. Like we don't. That's the thing, is like, name the nutrient. We don't fucking know, and neither do you.
Well, one could say that there's nutrients in rocks, but just because there are nutrients in plants doesn't mean that, number one, they're going to be absorbed, number two, they're going to be bioavailable, and three, they're going to be assimilable into the human body. There are different forms of these nutrients as well. I mean, just calling upon the isolated nutrients. I mean, this is it's such a reductionist attitude. And if you keep doing this reductionist approach, you can keep yourself in the box and convince some of your audience that you're somehow right. But I mean, the name the nutrient game is pretty silly.
No. Well, look, you're making the claim that potentially vegans aren't getting enough of a certain nutrient. It's only found in meat. So if you're going to make that claim, you have to name the nutrient.
Well, you said that you had gut issues or
EPA.
Yeah, I was having. So look,
iodine, zinc.
Okay, well, those all can be gotten in a vegan diet. It's actually easier to get some of them. No, it's actually easier to get some of those on a vegan diet.
B12.
Well,
Iron.
look,
Iron can't be supplemented.
Iron B12.
well, iron can be supplemented, but vegans don't have high rates of iron deficiency, for one thing.
That
Iodine,
is
sea
not
vegetables
true.
have the highest source of iodine.
How do I personally know of people that are low in iron? Like, if it's so rare, how come I personally know of multiple girls
No,
that
I
have
didn't
low
say
iron?
it was rare. I said vegans do not have a higher rate of iron deficiency compared to non-vegans.
Okay, then how? Well, these particular people have cured their iron deficiency by eating animal foods. That's what I'm saying.
Well, look, I know people who've cured their iron deficiency from switching to a vegan diet.
Really?
Yes.
From what diet?
Well, from just a standard meat eating diet before. I know. So I know. Well, look, I know a girl personally who was eating red meat and even taking iron supplements because her doctor said she was iron deficient. Didn't help her iron deficiency. She switched to a vegan diet where she was eating lentils, beans, and everything, and that cured her iron deficiency. So, or maybe I shouldn't even say that cured her iron deficiency. She wasn't iron deficient after she went on a vegan diet. So,
okay.
So I can find anecdotal.
So what sources of irons was she using on a vegan diet?
What source? Just like beans. That was the primary source. So, the point is, I can find anecdotal examples. You can find anecdotal examples,
sure,
but this is where I'd prefer to rely on research because everyone can find their own anecdotes.
Everybody can cherry pick research as well. Come on, man.
Sorry?
Everybody can cherry pick research as well.
Well,
there are plenty of studies showing deficiencies in vegan and vegetarian populations. There are plenty of studies showing higher rates of depression in vegan and vegetarian populations.
Yeah, the Austrian study, and the problem with that study was it was cross-sectional. They didn't actually verify how long anybody was following a vegan diet long term, and there was only 0.2% of the study population that was vegan, and there were only
you actually understand how to read these studies, Richard.
Sorry?
All right.
Well, no, the point is
you cherry pick these studies. You know you're playing a game. Come on, man.
Anyone can cherry pick studies, but there is different quality.
You can do it really well, and that doesn't make you right. You know that. You know that.
You just cherry picked a study and explained why
that study. I just told you there are plenty of studies showing exactly what we're pointing out, and you'll say, "Oh, well, of course they're invalid because," and that's just the game you're playing, man. That's just the game.
Studies that are proving what you're pointing out.
The game that you play is to maintain it in this narrow bandwidth of I'm only going to accept this type of research that confirms my bias. Some of your audience falls for it, man. But come on, we're on YouTube. They see what's up. They see what's going on.
There's a hierarchy of evidence.
This is why the hierarchy of evidence is not scientific. Is that peer reviewed? The hierarchy of evidence that you proclaim?
Hold on.
You don't understand, dude, Richard. Come on, man.
Guys. All right, listen. Bart.
There. The hierarchy of evidence is a picture you pulled up on Google, man.
No, the hierarchy of evidence is something that is being agreed upon by the scientific community, and it's
no. The scientific community is not an entity. There are independent scientists, there are independent researchers in many branches of science, and you try and call upon it as if it's some entity.
Okay,
you're playing a game that's not going to work on a lot of people who are hip and clever to this stuff. Man.
Well, if you take a look at the hierarchy of evidence, why don't you tell me why an opinion piece?
That picture you pull up of a pyramid, and you say epidemiology.
Tell me why an editorial opinion is.
What editorial opinion?
Well, no. If you look, we'll go to the hierarchy of evidence. Hierarchy of scientific evidence, and I'll screen share with you guys.
But okay,
this is one photograph claiming that this is the ultimate hierarchy of evidence that you cherry picked, and you decide this is universal. This is absolutely true for everybody.
Okay, so take a look. So tell me in what reality or who would have the opinion that an editorial expert opinion has a greater weight of evidence than a randomized trial? There's a reason why randomized trials.
And how was this selected? How is the order of operation? How was the order selected here?
Okay, well, editorial expert opinion is just a lowest form of evidence because essentially it's based on opinion. Mechanistic.
What about randomized controlled trials? Why is that the highest?
Randomized control. Well, it has the most amount of control with the study parameters. You can remove as many variables as possible. Essentially,
where's epidemiology in this list?
Okay, well, case reports. Well, actually, no case reports. So cross-sectional studies. Case control technically isn't epidemiological. Well, actually, it is. Case control, cohorts, and randomized trials. That's also technically epidemiological.
Okay, so And this is true. Why? How do you know this is true?
What do you mean?
How do you know that this hierarchy of evidence is true?
Well, you can use critical thinking to, like, basically, there's a much higher degree of control over the study parameters and possible confounding
I mean, I do like randomized controlled trials.
Than with a cross-sectional study.
Yeah, but this is an arbitrary pyramid. This is
No,
an
it isn't. No,
arbitrary
no,
list.
there's a
Yes,
higher
it is.
degree.
You
There's-
know it is. You know
there's
it
a
is.
higher degree of control over the study parameters, over different confounding factors than with a cross-sectional study. So
Richard, let's talk to us about the depression. Listen, guys, talk to us about the depression. What's going on?
It's a big preference, and you know it. And I mean, I'm not going to harp on about it anymore because you know that that's what it is. It's arbitrary.
The study, this shit changes every 5 years. Come on, let's move on.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, no. That is an important point. So why? Tell me why. No, tell me why a.
I'll tell you why, Richard.
Tell
you
me
asked
why.
Me why.
Tell me why a randomized trial could possibly be a weaker form of evidence than a case report.
Because as anybody who's looked deep into science, anybody who's actually done any scientific research, who've ever taken a university course in biology or something, understands that you can create a randomized controlled trial to prove fucking anything. You can prove just about anything with a controlled trial. You can prove whatever you want. You can prove that the sky is orange. You can prove that the Earth is these flat earthers that you love so much.
Okay,
They're
well,
out there trying to prove all this stuff, and they say that it's absolutely
you're misusing words. Okay, you're misusing words. You can't prove anything you want. You can basically slant evidence to suggest something you want.
Which is what you do.
If we actually use critical thinking, analyze the study's methodology, you can prove that it's not exactly a great study.
Richard, if you ate steak and you felt better, tell us about that hierarchy of evidence.
There would be no proof that he even exists because there's no peer-reviewed study that shows that Richard and I actually exist. So
Richard, goddamn it, I can cure you in 5 minutes. Come to my house. I will cook you some goddamn eggs. We'll fix this right now, dude. Snap out of it, goddammit.
Okay, look, let me give you an example. Somebody might be depressed. They smoke crystal meth. They're not depressed anymore.
Okay.
So clearly crystal meth is good for depression.
I asked Jackson this question. It's a good question for you, and I know that you'll ponder it. What feels good right now that feels good tomorrow and the foreseeable future that has no negative effects on you that turns out to be bad for you in the long term? Because I cannot think of one thing that exists like that.
Oh, there's plenty of things. People who live in India, they think ghee, clarified butter, is a health food. And look, really, really high fatty foods like that, they tickle your brain. Basically, they release like a lot of opiates and or opiate-like compounds in your brain. It makes you feel good.
Okay. So that's good in the moment. It's good in the moment.
Well, it's good in the moment. Also, just this clarified butter ghee. Wealthier people tend to eat it. It's a little more expensive. Right. And look, there could even be a placebo effect where, people think it's good for you. When it's really not, but because people have told you it's healthy for you, you get the idea it is good for you, and you just keep having these good feelings, but eventually you end up getting heart disease. You can also see this similar thing happening in the Philippines, where in the Philippines there's no regulation on the cigarette industry, in the tobacco industry.
Okay, but cigarettes. Hang on. Cigarettes. This is a good one. I love when people bring up cigarettes because I used to smoke cigarettes.
Sure.
And you know damn well when you smoke a pack of cigarettes in a night that the next day you feel like shit. Everybody knows that.
Okay. So in the Philippines, the tobacco industry is totally unregulated, and the tobacco industry is actually allowed to say cigarettes are healthy. There's actually clinics set up, it's basically an alternative form of medicine. It's sort of like naturopathic doctors here.
Okay.
They use tobacco therapy to cure people of cancer. So people who can't afford medical treatment in the Philippines, they'll actually go to these tobacco healing centers where they'll smoke tobacco. They'll have this chamber they'll sit in where fucking tobacco smoke is funneled in, and they'll anecdotally report, "Oh yeah, I feel a lot better. I think my cancer's getting better." So
so they feel better in the moment, but I mean, are they smoking enough to actually get lung cancer from it, or what are you saying? Because that's what I'm saying is like they do it in the moment. It feels good. They feel good tomorrow because the cancer's gone, not because they keep smoking tobacco. But in the long term, they're not getting, lung cancer. So like that's what I'm saying. Like,
so cigarettes they're actually seen as a healthy thing. Like it's actually marketed that cigarettes are healthy, and if you don't smoke, you're increasing your risk of disease.
Okay, but my point is that without
veganism is actually considered a healthy thing in some portions of the population. How crazy is that?
No,
People
this is what I know. No, leave the triggering. Tristan, put the safety on. God damn it. We're trying to get somewhere here, okay? The point is that what I'm saying is that if you are one of these tobacco chambers, you might feel good in that moment, although I'm sure your throat's going to be burning like crazy. Then the next day or a month later, your cancer's gone. Of course, you feel good long term, but it has nothing to do with the smoking.
Absolutely.
Of the ongoing smoking. Like, if you smoke a pack of cigarettes, you feel like shit. It doesn't matter what the authorities tell you. Like, you feel bad.
Placebo's a hell of a drug. No,
okay.
like, look, people.
Okay, I will accept your weak argument of placebo in this case. But
look, placebo is so massively powerful. There have been studies on giving people placebo steroids, where people who took the steroids, real steroids, ended up having the same amount of growth as people who got the placebo, because the people who got the placebo were so fucking convinced they're on steroids that it actually had an effect on them. Where
I think that's how vegans feel the first 2 years, to be honest with you. I swear to God, I'm not even trying to troll you.
That's not how things have been going for me. And if you look at some long perspective cohorts like the Adventist Health Studies, vegans have the lowest risk of all-cause mortality and cause-specific mortality like heart disease, diabetes, cancer.
I'd like to offer a question.
None of those studies that you're referring to are even on vegans, though. You're talking about the Adventist studies, which are not vegan.
No, the Adventist cohorts did involve vegans.
How many vegans were in the Adventist cohorts?
Sorry?
How many vegans were in the Adventist cohorts?
I'm not actually sure. I can't remember how many, but the Adventist Health Study 1, that was just on vegetarians, and the Adventist Health Study 2, that involved vegans.
It's on mostly vegetarians. They're not strict vegetarians.
I think they defined vegetarian as somebody who eats less than one animal product or one piece of meat per month.
And that's according to a survey, right?
Yeah.
No.
And look, these surveys...
Yeah. Tris is very satisfied.
Look, surveys are accurate enough for what they need to do.
Yeah.
All right. We're all in agreement there, Richard.
Is try and prove your point. So it's like I understand the game, man. Come on.
Okay, I got a question from a viewer.
Have a real conversation.
Hang on.
I'm so interested in the psychological aspects of like people trapping themselves in this YouTube persona. Do you think that if you weren't vegan gains on YouTube, if you were just like a normal person in the real world, not vegan gains on YouTube, do you think that you would ever try animal foods again? Do you think that you would be more open to different ideas about what the ethics of veganism are really about?
You can't answer that, like, seriously.
No. Well, no, I wouldn't.
All right, I got a question for you, Richard.
I had a YouTube channel. What?
There's a viewer, he's 2 years ex-vegan. He's been allergic to every nut as well as avocados and bananas his whole life. Would you suggest that he gets his fat solely from oil at that point? Like, how would he get fat if he was allergic to all nuts?
Okay, so what about seeds?
He didn't specify seeds. He just says every nut as well as avocados.
Okay, well, I'd recommend seeds, but yeah, if he could not get an adequate amount of fat from, like, whole food sources, then yeah. So cold pressed oils, I'd recommend.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you would say oils at that point. I mean, I'm not totally against oils either. Like, I don't really have an opinion either way. But I do think seeds can definitely fuck you up. Like, I don't think that eating chia seeds is necessarily great.
Yeah, what about the anti-nutrient content?
Look, again, you can find marginal cases and a lot of anecdotes. Like, there's a lot of different weird allergies that people have for sure. But if you look at, prospective cohorts, randomized trials, and look at the data, is there a trend with people who eat plants, eat more plants? Is there a trend with an increased risk of all-cause mortality or cause-specific mortality?
I've heard yes, but honestly, I don't give a shit either way in the study, so I choose to ignore all of them, and I look you in the eyes and I say, Richard, do you really believe the shit that you're saying right now?
Well, yeah, so...
like, let's talk fucking man-to-man here. Like, you're farting it up over there.
You're ignoring the best form of evidence.
I don't care about the evidence because there's
You
still going to be.
You arbitrarily claim something to be the best form of evidence. You arbitrarily determine that that's the best form of evidence. We disagree that it's the best form of evidence, dude.
Okay, so you're saying peer-reviewed studies are a lower form of evidence than anecdotal
There are
claims.
no peer-reviewed studies on long-term vegan populations.
Correct.
Ever.
Yes, there are. The Adventist Health
one peer-reviewed. That's not a vegan population.
Okay,
You just
hold on.
stated that.
Let's.
What do you
guys.
mean? Yes, it is.
Okay, Richard.
How many vegans were in that study?
Ricardo, I
I
have a
can't
question
remember.
for
You
you.
can look it up. Like, just look up the Adventist cohorts. You can look it up yourself.
Listen. Either way, you agree that even in these studies, it says like a 90% success rate on the vegan diet or something like that, right? So there's still this 10%. Well, let's just hypothetically agree on this because it's going to make things a lot easier. Even if there's this outlier percentage, the 10%, do you think that 10% cares what the study says when it doesn't work for them? And that's what I'm wondering. I'm wondering, like, let's find out what's going on there. You know, like you might be a part of that 10%. And I'm willing to even go halfway with vegans and say 50% of people can go long-term for life and 50% can't. I know vegans want to say it's like 99.9999% everybody can, but we both know right now that that is bullshit. And you know that doesn't matter what the studies say. There's people dropping out of it, and people can say it's societal or it's freaking your peer group. But dude, I had none of that. I freaking moved to Hawaii. I lived in a vegan house. I literally cooked meat in front of my vegan roommates. Like I went against the perfect vegan lifestyle because
Drew,
I was convinced it could help me.
Okay, well, Drew, again, these are anecdotal claims. Are anecdotal claims better than peer-reviewed research?
If I am the 10% that the peer-reviewed research shows that it doesn't work for, then yes, I have to ask myself, is this working for me? Is it not working for me? Right now, you're telling me that you're depressed. You're 9 years vegan. You should be.
I'm not depressed.
Well, you said that you were for quite a while.
I
You were.
was, sorry.
Okay.
Okay, well, I got depressed after I was swatted, and then the police totally fucked with me.
Okay.
I lost a shit ton of money. I was in a lot of debt. I couldn't work for basically a month or work like I normally would. I was separated from my wife because one of the conditions for bail was that I couldn't speak to my wife. Yeah, that made me fucking depressed.
That's understandable.
Yeah, so
and I don't
then
think meat would have cured that situation.
You dealt with back together. I got over my depression.
Richard, didn't you deal with depression before that as well, though? As like
I suffered from suicidal depression pretty much my entire life. It started when I was 6 years old, and the only time it got better was after I went vegan, where the suicidal depression just turned into depression.
And this was around the same time when you moved out of your mom's house, though, too.
No. This was when I was 19, so I was still living with my mom.
Okay. So veganism cures depression.
No, I wouldn't say that, but there is some evidence that a good healthy diet that's high in antioxidants can help treat neuropsychiatric disorders, including depression.
There's evidence that a ketogenic diet can be used for neuropsychiatric disorders.
I'm sure. It definitely does. There's evidence for that. It can treat epileptic seizures.
What about the evidence of there being such a high correlation between depression and vegan vegetarian diets?
What do you mean such a high correlation? What's the best evidence?
Well, also low cholesterol being highly associated with depression, with neurodegenerative diseases.
Okay, well, wait a second there. Okay, wait a second there. So there's some interesting things you brought up. So where's the research showing that vegan diets correlate very heavily with depression?
I just told you, low cholesterol levels being associated.
He wants the study.
Okay, I want the actual study, and I want you to
actually the list of studies. I don't have Dr. Greger's list.
Well, no, listen. I want you to actually demonstrate that it's not reverse causation. It's the cholesterol that caused the depression, not the depression that caused the low cholesterol.
Richard, you do agree that there's super good science promoting ketogenic diets and low carb diets, though, right? Like, there's some really solid double randomized. Sean Baker posts this shit all the time. Like, there's a lot of good science.
Sean Baker misreports research pretty frequently.
But it's Richard, do you think you're ever in danger of dismissing truth just because you're trying to maintain the ideology glass house of veganism?
No,
it seems like you just so quickly brush off anything people say. It's like not even you seem like you're a pretty nice person. I really do like you, but it's hard to get through this veneer that I think is. I just don't think it's genuine, man. This vegan thing.
You're on me. You're on here telling me that evidence doesn't matter, and then
no. I'm saying who said evidence doesn't matter?
True.
I said hierarchy of evidence is absolutely arbitrary, and you're claiming it's science, and
it's not arbitrary. What is arbitrary?
It's not science. It's not dogma. Your
how is it
evidence
No, how is the hierarchy of evidence where randomized control
hierarchy of
trials
evidence.
are a
That's
higher level of evidence than case reports?
It's a hierarchy.
How is that arbitrary? How is it
Apparently-
arbitrary? So how is that arbitrary? Explain to me. You haven't explained to me.
I told you 100 times it's arbitrary. Is that peer reviewed?
No, that's not an
Is that
explanation.
hierarchy of
Why it's
evidence
arbitrary.
peer
Saying it's
reviewed?
arbitrary is not an explanation. That's just
Is that hierarchy of evidence peer reviewed? Do you have a peer reviewed randomized controlled trial?
Well, yes, essentially it is peer reviewed.
Okay, again, Richard, though, I kind of had you cornered there. I told you, if you're that 10% that the science says that exists, that it will not work for, like, you're going to be the one to determine that, not the freaking average of the science of the study. You're going to say, oh, it works in 90% of the cases, but it's like, okay, what about the 10%?
No, if
how do you determine that?
research comes out that proves that not everyone can follow a vegan diet, then yes, I'd admit that. But
I'm sure
there isn't that research.
Okay, well,
look, there have been some things that have come out that go against my position, that aren't in favor of my position.
Okay, let's talk about those. Let's talk about the ones that you are most scared of.
Most scared of? Okay,
Yes.
well, there's nothing that frightens me. Like
Richard, let's be honest here.
The only thing
you
that
sleep with a Batman belt on, dude.
The only thing that comes to mind that research I wish was true but isn't, it's the correlation between animal protein intake and osteoporosis or fractures.
Let's talk about it.
So it was thought before people thought that animal protein intake leached calcium out of your bones. And the way this happened was it increased acidity that your kidneys had to deal with, and then basically what happened was calcium would be leached out of your bones to buffer this acidity. Turns out that's not true. Animal protein intake actually improves calcium utilization.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
there's also no oxalates, which they say that oxalates bind to calcium and make it so that you can't absorb calcium. You're aware of that, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm aware of that. But again, if you take a look at some of the large prospective studies, like these plant food intake, so particularly phytates, it's associated with better bone health. So
I believe that.
Sorry?
I was going to say I believe that.
Yeah, so the thing is, like, and this again goes back to the hierarchy of evidence. You can find mechanistic data showing that things like phytates and oxalates inhibit calcium absorption. That's absolutely true. But when you look at things in the real world, in these like prospective studies or randomized trials, well, it turns out some of these plant foods actually do the exact opposite of what you'd expect. These foods that in mechanistic studies, they inhibit calcium absorption. Well, in reality, they actually improve bone health.
Okay.
So
the clinical data is different than the mechanistic data.
Wait, how do you know they improve bone health? How do you know they improve bone health?
Because if you look at what is it, the DEXA data, they have better bone mineral density.
And so, what was the study that you're referencing again?
I don't have it up right now, but you know.
So they looked at DEXA scan of people eating a certain food, and they said that it improved bone health.
No, not a certain
Before
food.
And after
Consumption.
Before and after eating this food.
No. So this is basically just a prospective study where they just took a look at phytate consumption across the population. The people who were eating the most amount of phytates, so high phytate foods being like beans, legumes, they had better bone mineral density than those who weren't. And I think there are also some
an epidemiological study where they're doing surveys and asking people how many of
beans
they're eating, how much lentils, and they saw.
And I think I can also pull up for you some randomized trials where phytate intake did improve bone mineral density.
So the association not equaling causation, obviously.
Sorry?
Right? I mean, association does not equal causation, right? So could you not be seeing in some of these studies more of a healthy user bias? People who eat more whole grains tend to exercise more, tend to lift weights.
Well, that wouldn't be the case in randomized trials. I think I can actually find you some randomized trials where phytate consumption definitely did improve bone mineral.
Are you aware of Ellen White, the Adventist prophet?
No.
Have you heard of this person? I think you should look into them. I have a big super chat from somebody. They said they promoted veganism, but they're caught lying and eating meat multiple times.
Okay.
And it's something that should be considered.
Interesting.
She used to have
Ellen White
visions.
I hate to do this, but I really have to go take a piss
and have visions.
Okay, go for it.
I gotta go take a piss. I'll be right back.
That's the vegan bladder. Vegan bladder.
He's got to take a pee from his butt or from his pee-pee.
I've been sitting here for 3.5 hours. I can go 3.5 more. I don't even pee as a carnivore. One of the benefits.
10:50 here. What time's it over there, Drew?
It's 8:50.
8:50. Past my bedtime.
I got another super chat.
Like, I don't get why he's constantly harping on about this hierarchy of evidence, acting like this is some sort of a scientific principle.
It's like the shield and sword of veganism.
And what's crazy is his audience buys it. They buy into it.
Well, here's the thing about it is that 5 years ago, when 5+ years ago, when all these guys went vegan, that stuff didn't exist. So what were they making their decision on back then? It was obviously an ethical, emotional decision, an anecdotal decision. They said, "I feel better eating fruits and vegetables."
The stuff that they're referencing doesn't even exist now. There's no studies on.
That's true. I'm just giving them the benefit of the doubt.
Even had to say that the Adventist studies are not even on vegetarians. That they said they eat one piece of animal food per week, and that was considered the vegetarians. Like, come on, man. These people are all eating eggs.
I can't eat a raw meat on stream, guys. I don't want to get freaking banned off YouTube like Spherage. He can't monetize his videos. I don't want to get some weird ban.
He monetize his videos. He just doesn't know how to monetize them.
He doesn't know how to click the button. I want to ask Richard that question though about the I want to ask him about what he made his decision to go vegan on when there wasn't this information. Man, you're good at moderating the chat. I can barely even keep up. I'm looking at you. I got 3 monitors going.
There's just a few people that hate me in there, so I just tell them
time out.
So what did you want to ask?
I wanted to ask you, so a lot of this, I'm not saying that the data or the studies, the randomized clinical control trials, I go from a different angle here. This stuff didn't exist 9 years ago when you went vegan. So most of it did not. I mean,
back in the 80s.
What's that?
Well, the Adventist Health Studies, the Adventist Health Study 1, that was like back in the 70s. Adventist Health Study 2, I think that was 80s.
I mean, that's stuff. I mean, these guys were eating still 10-15% animal foods every day.
No, that included a vegan population.
So you basically wholly base your vegan choice on that data? Is that what you're saying?
No, look, there was still plenty of data 9 years ago when I went vegan. There's more now, obviously.
Yeah, well, what I see now is that you got people like the World Health Organization and the American School of Dietetics all agreeing with this stuff now, which it gives it a much bigger legs to stand on.
Well, do you think there's a reason that they might agree with that sort of thing?
I mean, I can go the conspiracy route like my boy Tristan over here, but I'm just gonna say I don't really give a shit. I don't care.
Conspiracy route? What you talking about? I said that the vegan movement is an SJW movement. Look at AOC. Look at Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and the Green New Deal. Come on.
How do you feel about the evolutionary argument? Because that's more theory based, in my opinion. Like, how do you feel about the way our brains are said to have grown and also stomach shrank? We've been harnessing fire for 1 million years. We've only had amylase in our mouth for 250,000 years. Like, what do you say to that?
Oh, well, I just point out the fact that, for the vast majority of our evolution, we were eating a primarily plant-based diet.
How would we do that?
Sorry?
How were we accomplishing that?
How about when we was monkeys?
Well, I mean, look at other like apes. Basically, that's what they're doing. That's what we were doing.
Look at single-celled organisms. So we look at we share a common ancestor with bananas. Therefore, we should eat dirt. Come on.
Yeah, but I mean, we have a vestigial cecum. We have a narrow small intestine. We have a low stomach acid. We have all the makings of...
All of this is probably adaptations to eating cooked food. And those adaptations might have been pretty rapid, too.
Interesting. Okay. So I've actually asked this question to other people that I've discussed with before is like, how many generations do you think it takes to actually be able to, I guess, adjust to these type of things? Like, it's going to be theory based, like your opinion, and anybody's opinion is as good as any others in this situation. So.
Oh, I have no idea. Like, I'm not an evolutionary biologist. I don't know how many generations it would take. I'm just saying all of those adaptations would make sense for, a species that's eating cooked food.
What if we were eating raw meat, though, like a million plus years ago, even before the fire situation, and then that's when our brains grew the most and our stomach shrank?
Okay,
because we were eating nutrient-dense foods.
Well, then it's just an added caloric intake, really.
Added caloric intake. Okay, all right. So you just think we ate more food and basically our stomachs were like, we don't need the. Well, but still, again, the stomach shrank, so that would mean that we weren't eating more and then growing a bigger stomach. We were actually eating a higher nutrient density, higher caloric density food.
Yeah.
That would indicate that, in my opinion.
Yeah, sure. Look,
so
I'm not even denying that eating meat played a role in our evolution.
Right.
What I would argue is that there's not necessarily any specific nutrient in meat that triggers the evolution of a brain. Like, I don't mean to insult anyone's cat, but I don't see a correlation between meat eating and intelligence. You also have to consider, like, if there were these creatures who were eating meat, okay, well, they'd have to learn how to hunt, trap animals, have like abstract thought to be able to understand where these animals are, what they'd be doing, how they're going to react to you. You're going to have to coordinate in groups, and social behavior massively changes basically the intelligence of a species. If you're able to communicate with one another, like look at the most intelligent animals. They're amazing at communicating. And like all of those behaviors around meat eating would definitely play a role in the evolution of the human brain. So it's not even necessarily the meat eating itself, it's everything that goes along with it, like tool making too.
So we basically evolved our brain, got super smart eating the meat, and then we got so smart that we figured out how to eat plants again and then make those the main source, and that actually makes us the healthiest. I don't see how that makes sense.
What do you mean? We went from eating plants, then only eating meat, and then only eating plants. Like, what do you mean?
That's what I interpret what you're telling me is
No.
like, that's what I'm interpreting what you're saying.
Well, no, I'm just saying that I'm not saying that humans at one point or early hominids were entirely carnivorous at one point. I'm not saying that. I don't think there's even any evidence for that. What I'm saying is,
what do we know about the Ice Age though? Like, wasn't there legit snow for like 10K years and we had to straight up eat?
No, not all over the planet, not in every area. Like you can find Neanderthal specimens where they have poop that's very plant-based.
And those would have been from that era?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Neanderthals covered a pretty wide area. You can find Neanderthals that were eating pretty much only meat, and then you can find Neanderthal specimens that were eating a primarily plant-based diet. Like the human race is covered a pretty wide area, so it's not like the entire species was only eating meat for thousands and thousands of years. And even if that was the case, okay, well, you're comparing a few thousand years of evolution to millions of years of evolution. Like, you're not going to become an obligate carnivore in 10,000 years if you've spent, several millions of years eating a plant-based diet.
Well, that's what I'm saying is that I think, like, from what I've read, and I read this while I was vegan, by the way. I was trying to argue with somebody, and I read all this counter evidence, essentially, saying that we've been using fire for 1 million years. We've only been using hearthstone ovens for 250,000 years, which is also the best time frame that we know of that we got the amylase enzyme in our mouth. So, like, we've only been consuming cooked starches around the time that we started using oven technology. So, like, everything before that was essentially raw fruits and vegetables, and then maybe cooked meat or raw meat, because you can't really cook, like, vegetables or starches in a fire, without tinfoil or some sort of tools. So, essentially, I mean, yeah, I guess you could use rocks, but I mean, we're doing that for 1 million years. Like, we're definitely cooking meat in that fire, and we're also eating raw meat before it, So, like,
yeah, absolutely. Like, again, I'm not disagreeing.
And we didn't know about farming, so we didn't have farming technology. So, like, we're literally hunting and gathering. And then when you talk about in the wild, like, it's so much easier to get calories from freaking animals,
Not necessarily. So again, animals run away from you. Plants don't. So if you're in an area that's, dense forest or something, or a lot of fruit trees are growing, or a lot of grass seeds are growing, it's easier to get the grass.
That basically doesn't exist in the real world, though.
Sorry?
That basically does not exist in the real world.
No, it does. I'm not sure if I had it bookmarked. I was planning on making a video on this. You can find...
Where's this Fruitopia? Because I've been to Hawaii, and let me tell you, it's not that easy.
So I'm not saying, like, that early hominids lived in a Fruitopia. I'm saying during a certain season in a certain area, it's easier to find like fruit or grass seeds or some type of plant food and eat that than chase after an animal. It's just less energy intensive.
I gotta tell you, it's extremely easy to kill animals. If you stand in a tree, go watch Tim Wells. Tim Wells, the bow hunter, he literally hunts with a spear and he films the entire thing on GoPro. He stands in a tree, he puts a little bait down below him, pigs walk right up to his trap, and he throws a spear right through their heart, right through their spine, actually. And it's so easy for him to do.
Okay, well, we're talking about early hominids.
Yeah, I mean, they make a spear and they stick it in the pig. It's really not hard. Like, people do that today. They use dogs and they could walk up to pigs and they literally stick them. It's not that hard. It's really not that hard.
Okay, well, again, pigs aren't across the entire globe.
They're pretty much everywhere. So are canines. You can watch persistence hunting on YouTube. People run down dogs after like maybe 5 miles or so. They completely poop out.
Persistence hunting requires a lot more energy and time and effort.
Yeah, but you get more out of it, though. You get way more out of it. Like,
no, not necessarily.
Okay, if you're one guy and you run 10 miles after a dog that weighs 60 pounds and you bash him over the head with a rock and you take him back to your tribe, you're feeding the entire village. Like, whereas it would take an entire village of gathering, I don't know, unripe bananas or something and trying to do all this stuff in nature. Like, it's so easy to get calories from animals compared to...
Well, look, are you actually telling me that early hominids would take a look at a banana tree or an apple tree or something like that and say, I'd rather just not pick that off the tree and eat it. I think I'm just going to chase down an animal. Like, they're going to eat whatever they can.
Yeah, of course they're going to eat whatever they can, but what I'm saying is that even if there was that tree that you think existed that I don't think existed, even if there was that tree there, that would only feed maybe a couple people per meal. But when you see that 150-pound pig walk by, you're going to do what it takes to get that pig. Plus, it's going to have, name that nutrient, way more shit than that orange or apple tree in it. And the only way that a vegan diet even works is in modern technology, where you have all the supplements available, all the mock meats available, all this fortified bullshit available.
I think it's pointless to even speculate on like what people were doing more than a few generations back when we can just look at modern societies who are living. I mean, look at indigenous societies just 60 years ago in the Tahitian Islands, in Bali. These are people who had an abundance of tropical fruit available and also an abundance of animal foods. And they would still self-select to eat a majority of their calories from animal foods. So, I mean, every single population of the world in their environment has self-selected to eat mostly animal foods and still does self-select to eat animal foods. You have to be brainwashed into basically removing animal foods from the diet. There's not a single long-term vegan culture. Show me one, or a vegetarian culture.
Guys, I do want to wrap it in about 10 minutes or less if we can, because
it's kind of pointless at this point. It's just
it doesn't matter if there's ever been a single long-term vegan culture or whatever. This evolutionary argument, it's interesting, but look,
you were just making an evolutionary argument, but then you can't show us one single long-term vegetarian or vegan culture now.
Can you show me one single long-term culture that's used cell phones or had the internet?
I'll show you every single long-term culture that has used animal foods in abundance and self-selected to use those animal foods in an abundance.
Is there any culture that's existed long-term that's used the internet? No. Okay, so I could say, well, the internet's dangerous. We should not have it.
I agree with you. Richard, what do you think about Weston A. Price's findings?
They're interesting, and I actually wanted to maybe make a video on that. It involves mewing. So one of the thoughts behind mewing is that chewing hard foods, it basically creates stress across the bones of your face in a certain way that helps to align teeth and make your jaw more pronounced and everything. I think that might have had an influence on Weston A. Price's findings, because people who were eating a meat-based diet in some of his research, they're probably chewing on harder food. And the people who had a grain-based diet, they weren't chewing.
It's actually not true. Stephenson in his book said that the Eskimos, the Inuit, didn't talk about chewing at all. They didn't teach chewing at all. And when you look at like the English population, the British population, they've got very narrow hips, very narrow jaw formation. And this does seem to be highly associated with less animal food intake, less animal fats, and more processed foods.
Okay, so wait.
I'm patching Bart.
You're telling me Eskimos don't chew their food, Tristan?
That's not what I said, is it?
Okay,
See,
well,
you try to play these funny games, man. No,
I thought that's what you said.
No. Stephenson in his book said that they actually they don't emphasize chewing their food, and they very often they'll just give a couple chews and swallow it.
Okay, well, they're still chewing on something that's kind of hard. I had a school teacher who used to live up in Nunavut, and that was back in the 80s, and a lot of the people there were basically, they'd get beluga whale or whatever the fuck they eat, and he tried some, like the raw whale flesh, and he said it just tasted like blood, and it was insanely chewy, and he couldn't eat it. So, like, they are eating food that's tough to chew, and even if they don't chew that much, they're still chewing on something that's hard, and I still have to research this. The
It's just
mewing
funny
thing,
because you pull out this speculation, and then you're constantly using speculation when it suits you, but then it's
You
not
literally-
okay if anybody else uses
I'm not
such
using
evidence.
speculation. I haven't researched this enough yet, and I'm saying, okay, maybe
Yeah.
this is.
But do you think that you're really going to research it and look at it objectively, or are you just going to find something that will
Yeah,
kind of confirm your bias?
No,
You're not just
no.
going to find something that confirms your
No,
bias.
no, because look, I'm interested in the truth, and I think the truth does the most overall good for the population. So if it turns out that eating tough, hard, chewy foods
What
helps
is going
line
on
your
with the connection?
face structured properly, then I'll share that information.
Well, what's interesting is animal foods are actually much less difficult to chew and to digest than plant foods. I mean, meat, you got a nice ribeye steak, you don't even have to cook the thing or add anything to it to make it so easy to chew up. Now, some of the collagen might be a little bit chewy, but the actual meat portion and the fat, it just melts.
Okay, well, Tristan, there are a certain amount of people per year who die from choking on food. Guess what the most common food item is that people die from choking on?
Banana smoothie.
It's the most common food item that people eat, right?
No.
The food that every single culture in the history of humanity has consumed?
Well,
Meat?
no. Well, no. The most
Okay.
common food item to choke on is meat. And what?
Yeah, the most commonly eaten food in every single culture across history.
Okay, Tristan, Americans eat other foods, and if you actually take a look at the standard American diet, the majority of calories are not coming from meat.
I just to me, when you say that you're interested in the truth, from the conversations that I've seen you have in public, it just doesn't really add up, man. It seems like you're just trying to confirm a bias and that you've already made up your mind. It doesn't seem like you're actually interested in what's true outside of framing. But that's why you don't even let people get their points across. You constantly filibuster in these debate tactics. We're not even having a debate here. We're here having a conversation, man. You still treat it like it's a debate.
I absolutely let you get your points across. The only
Okay.
thing is, if you're going to make claims, then yes, I demand evidence for those claims.
And what is the hierarchy of evidence that you choose to accept?
Okay, it's the generally accepted hierarchy of scientific
Generally
evidence.
accepted by who?
By the scientific community.
Who's the
Bart is a
scientific
scientist.
community?
He doesn't accept it.
Okay, well, that's too bad for him. He'd have to explain to me why a randomized controlled trial isn't as good as a case report.
Well, what if he took that study and he showed you word for word where it's wrong? Like, I think that's where Bart is dope because he actually like breaks the study down. He's like, this exact part is
actually does.
bullshit.
Okay,
I
well,
think he does a
Bart
pretty good
is
job of it.
bullshit, and I can explain to you why.
Okay, I would love to hear it. No, seriously, I would love to hear it, please.
Okay, so the one study I referenced, it was published in the American Journal of Cardiology. Basically, based on randomized controlled trials, they made a regression analysis where they found that the regression line indicates that heart attacks are reduced, heart attacks are reduced when LDL cholesterol is below 70 milligrams per deciliter. And around the same point, that's where atherosclerosis progression stops. So basically what he said was the derivatives are too high. So basically the data points are staggered. Like, it's not a perfect line, right? So based on that study, the predictability was...
Hang on. The connection is terrible. Hold on one second. I don't know what's going on here.
You can't hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh, no. It's my end over here. I don't know what's going on here.
I can still hear Richard. I can still hear you as well.
Okay. Yeah, I'm getting crazy drop frames right now. Hang on, just give it a minute. Sorry, guys. It's a connection thing. Huh. I think the router is crapping out. Video output low.
Can
Richard,
you hear us just fine?
I can hear you guys, but I've been getting a lot of like lag in the stream, and then now my OBS is trash. Hang on one second.
Maybe it's just OBS is crashing.
Yeah, that happened to me yesterday. There have been a few updates. It's been a little funky.
Nah, it's my router. We've been having crazy. Okay, it's back. It's totally back. Let's try and wrap it because I don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, so basically you're saying Bart K is dope at, explaining why a certain study is bad.
Yeah, you said below 70 deciliters regression.
Right. So there was a study I referenced where they made a regression analysis that was based on a number of randomized trials. And they found that based on the regression analysis, atherosclerosis stops progressing once LDL is below 70 milligrams per deciliter. And again, heart attacks also reduced when LDL is below 70 milligrams per deciliter. Based on the results of that analysis, like the regression analysis, that indicates that
the connection is trash.
Okay.
I can hear you guys, but but I'm uploading at 6,000 to YouTube, and it's just dropping so many frames.
Sure. So basically, what Bart K tried to argue was that the data wasn't predictable enough. So you can't make a straight, perfect line indicating with 100% accuracy that, oh, if your LDL is here, this is your heart disease risk. If your LDL is here, this is where your heart disease risk is. There's variability, so you have to draw a line of best fit. So the line of best fit was, I think, 60 or 65% accurate, and he said that's not enough. Well, again, that's being a little dishonest, especially if you look at other research. There was another study done where they made another regression analysis, showed the exact same thing. The derivative was about the same, and there was another recent study put out by published in the American Journal of Cardiology, and they found that the only people that did not have atherosclerosis had LDL below 70 milligrams per deciliter. So there are multiple, there's just so much data all pointing towards the exact same thing. And then Bart will basically say, oh, well, the derivative is too high. The line of best fit isn't accurate enough, when it really is. And there's multiple different forms of data showing the exact same thing.
Okay, well it's unfortunately over my head, and I'm not even going to try to break it. But I'm sure Bart will respond to that because he is in my chat and he has made some reactions to it. But honestly, I just don't even know where to begin. So I do have another person who said he's an ex-Adventist for 15 years. He lived in Loma Linda for years, which is actually right down the street from me. 95% of them eat meat, just not pork or shellfish. Richard knows nothing of the religion, yet acts like he does because he read a survey study. So that's just
it fits into somebody's bias, so then they'll latch onto it and they'll harp on about it because it fits into the narrative. It's not about the truth with a lot of these folks online. That's the sad thing about these fake debates. People don't really care about what's true. They don't care about what's real. They care about appearing correct to their audience, who have no idea what they're talking about.
Okay, well, Tristan, what else are we to rely on if not scientific research?
There's plenty of scientific research absolutely disproving all of the claims that you regularly make because you cherry pick the evidence and this is true, man. Okay, I'm not trying to have this battle over the scientific research.
Okay,
I'm just you know exactly what's cutting, man. You know exactly the game. You know that you keep the debate in this specific framework and you demand a specific reaction from the people that you debate with, and you play the game. You do it as a sparring match. It's not a real scientific debate.
I just demand evidence.
You demand this. And your hierarchy of evidence that you claim is dogma is untrue.
Yo, Tristan, hold on. So, okay, you're obviously not a trained scientist, right? This is I'm not trolling you. You're not a trained scientist, right? Richard?
No.
And as far as mathematics is concerned, how good are you with regression analysis and confidence indicator and stuff like that? To me, that shit, I have no fucking idea, and I'm willing to admit that.
I can interpret that sort of data.
But you don't know exactly what it means to the degree that you think it does.
But I've heard you interpret data incorrectly so many times. You can pretend to interpret it. Anybody can. I don't think you're really interpreting it correctly. A lot of the time, I think that you're being a little bit dishonest here. And I'm not trying to be a dick, man. I actually like you, and I want you to come out of the haze. But I think that you're being dishonest about this.
Okay, well, Tristan, how about we have a debate that doesn't involve research? Why don't we have a debate about theology?
We're just having a conversation, man. You're constantly trying to frame these funny debates. It's a sparring match.
No. I'd be interested because you were
It's a
telling me.
sparring match, man. It's not a real debate. How about we have a real conversation without your audience giving you money, without the vegan gains persona there? Why don't we just have a real man-to-man conversation? That'd be better.
Okay, well, what do you mean?
We can talk anytime, man. You got my number.
Okay, well, I don't understand the difference between having a discussion and disagreeing with something and just a debate where people can see it.
That's the sad thing, is because most of the interactions you're having with people are these framed debates, right? It's not real human interaction, man.
Okay, well, the point is where there's a disagreement and we're trying to see who's right and who's wrong.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just told you exactly what I see is cutting. I don't think that you're really interested in the truth here. I think it's a show.
What would indicate
I think
that
it's
I'm
a
not
show,
interested
man.
in
It's
the
just what I'm
truth?
saying. I think it's a show. That's all I'm saying.
What would indicate that I'm not interested in the truth?
The fact that you brush off evidence before it's even fully presented to you, the fact that you present your information a specific way, you frame these conversations in a very specific way to maintain it in this narrow pocket of reality that you think you got control over. And
Okay,
it's
can
cool,
you
man.
give
It's
me
the internet. It's what you're doing. You're getting money off it. You're getting
you give
money
me
off your audience. You're providing for your family. You've got a wife. I understand. Just keep doing what you're doing, man. If you ever want to have a real conversation, we can. But it's like, I mean, I don't see what the point is with fake debates. Like, I think you're a nice person, and I think underneath it, there's a good guy there that, you know, you can hang out, have a couple steaks over a fire, and talk about whatever you want to talk about. But I don't think that I don't think that these conversations are really fruitful if it's just trying to posture for an audience. It's all good, man. Your audience hates me. They like you.
Mr. Berg, I give you the last statements here before we call it a night, because I do need to get some food in me.
All right, cool. Well, you know, I live stream pretty frequently, so if you're ever interested in talking about something, you know, like,
well, I like today's discussion. This was a good icebreaker for all of us. You know, and like you seemed real enough to me to answer some of the questions that I had, and I wanted to also know some very like direct, deeper personal stuff about your situation. So I don't know, I think maybe you had some things to consider as well, and I think that personal stuff is what makes you think about it at night while you're laying in bed, more so than like somebody busting you on a study. Like, to me, that's not where any advancement of your personal situation is going to come from, in my opinion.
Okay, well, anyway, if you ever want to discuss a certain topic about veganism or meat eating or whatever, or want to have a debate, I'm open to it.
Sure, sounds good. I think that's great.
All right, cool.
Alrighty, well, thanks for coming on, man. I'm going to close it out with my peeps.
Have a good night, dude.
All right, see ya.
All right, later.
Later, Richard.
Okay, let's see. We got...
End this hangout or no?
I can close out with my guys, and then I'm just gonna do like a little outro. I'm starting to get hungry.
yeah. What do you think about that? It seems like it always just turns into the debate, the study thumping. It always devolves into that.
That's definitely his area of expertise for sure, and or you know, his alleged expertise or whatever. And honestly, like I take the complete neutral ground on it. It's like, hey, you're right about your studies. It's fine. I'm not even gonna begin to debate studies. Like I said, I'm not a scientist. I'm not a mathematician. I have no business trying to debate somebody on that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's always an interesting conversation to have. I think there's a lot of dishonesty that goes on in the vegan world. I think a lot of these people are just openly fooling themselves. This is right before our eyes. Let the audience make up their mind. You know, I'm sure his audience thinks that he's right about everything. They worship him, and I think that really gets to people's head. You know, I think it really gets to them, and having that constant reinforcement of that can be really harsh on the psyche. And Wacko Jacko really talked about that in a really open way, and I appreciate that video.
Yeah, he's like, this shit is fun. He's like, I enjoy doing it. But anyway, well, I will. I'm sure you're getting ready to.
Yeah, it's like 11:20 here, man. It's past my bedtime, but I thought it would be actually an entertaining conversation, but it just turned out to be.
It's all good.
I mean, there were some interesting moments. There were some good moments.
I just wish I had a different. I'm gonna have to re-upload this section of it, I think, because I don't want it to be tied into the whole Freelee thing. But anyway,
yeah, you had your Freelee video. We ruined it, man.
It's all good. That was definitely worth it. Anyway, guys, Bart says until Bart wants to thumb some studies, then he doesn't want any more interesting. I agree. That is interesting. I think if you want to go to the authority on the information. I don't know why he doesn't want to go straight to Bart. Like, he should sharpen his sword against the toughest competition.
I think it would be interesting to see. Why not see Bart and Vegan Gains debate? You know,
Exactly.
I mean, that'd be one of the science debates that I could watch of Vegan
Exactly,
Gains.
me too. It would be interesting.
Because he never debates actual scientists. He never debates people who are actually well versed in the science behind these things. And I think he plays a frame game.
Agree. All right, guys. Well,
frames it up.
Everybody,
all right, I'm out of here, man.
I'll peace out. But later, man.
Later, Drew.
Okie dokie. All right, guys. Well, that was fun. I hope you enjoyed it as well. It turned into from the Freelee critique to my own video critique to the Vegan Gains chat. Yeah, it was good. It was cool. It's my first introduction to Vegan Gains. It didn't go that horribly, man. These people that get into this crazy shoddy matches back and forth with him, it's fucking nuts. Like, I'm not interested in that at all. Let's see. You just cut the Freelee off to one video and the dick stuff in another video. What dick stuff? But anyways, I hope you guys had a good time, and we'll do more live streams. I guess people like these, so that's pretty cool. I think they're fun. We've been going for almost 4 hours. Jesus, I did not intend for that. I was literally aiming for an hour and a half max. But yeah, we had our boy Tristan on. I'm glad he came through, and everybody else, all the moderators that came through, all the standard people that show up all the time. It's amazing. Holy moly, Jay Mover, you were in here the whole time? Damn, that's nuts. Yeah, man. I keep it way less cool when I'm talking to friends behind closed doors, but when I'm in the face of somebody, it's like I'm focused on like delivering a good question and answer session, and also digging into them as well, as in terms of like not triggering them, but like really trying to get some useful, good information. I mean, I feel like he had to concede or admit to a few points. He admitted that he wasn't totally fleshed out on the thoughts of the evolutionary aspect, and I feel like a lot of these things are gonna make him think and come back with some different thoughts next time, maybe. Yeah, I hear you, Max. But it is nice sometimes to have another person in there, because you can I can read the chat, they can go. It kind of works. Why would I debate Frank Tufano? I think we pretty much agree on everything, for the most part. Yeah, LA Methwitch, I know you've been here forever, man. You were here forever, the whole time. I can't believe you guys. You guys are nuts, dude. Thank you for showing up like that. That's fucking amazing. I feel like already this like awesome little community is evolving around my channel, and I gotta say, I absolutely love it. Dude, I'm glad. And I hope not just the keeping it real, which obviously I always want to keep it real in these chats, but I also want to have some entertainment value as well. I hope you guys are laughing sometimes when I'm fucking laughing, because seriously, some of the shit is so funny. Like, it's hard not to just bust up laughing. I hope you guys are getting it too. Hey, Sidmeister, thank you. Dude, everybody who donated. Sidmeister, you went nuts, bro. Thank you so much. Yeah, everybody. Jeez. Today was dope. All right, guys. We're going to call it, man. We're going to call it here. Thanks for the subs. I'll debate you, Sarah. Let's go. Sarah, I'm ready. I'm waiting for you when you're ready. Come on. All right, guys. Again, peace. Appreciate it. And I'll probably make another edited video sometime this week. So stay tuned.